Yo, fears, audience, audience fears, coffee, audience coffee. Mmm, good stuff. Good stuff. I gotta say, this new coffee that I'm drinking, because I still have a little bit left. That demon coffee. Oh, I'm sorry, not demon. The devil coffee at Walmart. That's some pretty good stuff, man. Even though it's called the devil coffee, whoo, it's strong though. I'm just letting you know, it's strong, guys. Anyway, welcome to the Fears podcast. I'm your host, Fears. Today I'm going to just do a solo stream. I don't really feel like having a bunch of people in today. I thought, just me, hang out with the fans hang out with Fears. No interruptions, no nothing, just Fears hanging out. I got a bunch of stuff to tell you guys. Bunch of stuff. Not that I don't like guests. I do like guests, but sometimes I just like to go at it solo. Anyway, let me open up the chat. There we are. Hey, there we are. Boop, I thought. Boop, 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 boop. All right. There we go. All right, so the chat is open. Chat is open. Feel free to chat, talk, go nuts, ask Fears questions within reason. So, we got a whole bunch of stuff to talk about today. First of all, I got a couple of updates. Some good, some bad. Where to start? Work was not good last night. We were not busy at all. So Fears had to go home early. I only worked for like an hour or two. And they're like, yeah, we're good, Fears. Right on. And I was like, that's it? And they're like, yeah, Fears until we get busier. And I was like, all right. So I only worked for like an hour or two. Let's hope tonight at work we're a little bit busier. Because I want to get my hours in. And I'm not mad at my bosses. I'm not mad at the job. Just I wish we were a lot, man, around from Halloween. So like October, November, December, January, and now we're going into February. From October to January, we were super busy. And now it seems like they say we're going to get busier around Valentine's Day. So I guess with, packages, being what they are, ups and downs, sometimes we're incredibly busy, and then sometimes we're like super, super low. I think we only had like, 39,000 last night, something like that. I don't know, maybe 40. I mean, it wasn't much. By the way, I'm trying to eat more healthier, so I got some celery. So last time I was eating grapes, this time I'm eating celery. So instead of saying like, hey, Fears, I'm hungry, let's go get some BK Lounge. I'm trying to lose some weight. Hey, Fears, I'm hungry. Let's eat some celery or some grapes or some apples or oranges. Not oranges, actually, because they have too much citrus acid in it. It would probably kill Fears' stomach. But you guys get the hint. So, but anyway, and I love celery. But anyway, so that's the first topic. That's the first update. So I only worked for like an hour or two last night, which kind of sucked. I appreciate that I got 2 hours in. I just hope soon that the hours and we get back to busy. So after I worked 2 hours, I just went home last night like around 5. And I was already like up, looks like I'd already slept, through the night. So I just laid on the couch and I watched old episodes of this thing right here, The Incredible Hulk, the classic one, the 70s one. Well, it started in the 70s and then the series ended in the 80s. So there it is. So yeah. So and I also did some editing today. So I'm so close. I'm that close to finishing. I'm gonna try to finish it sometime after dinner and have it up before I go into work tonight. The second update is I'm almost done editing the me and Sam championship miniature golf game. So that's going to be up soon. Like I said, either tonight before I go into work or hopefully tomorrow. But I'm halfway done editing it because I did some edits today. So that should be up hopefully soon. Up hopefully soon. The next update, I went to the store today, and I found the perfect thing that I'm gonna get my mom um, for Valentine's Day, because I told you guys, me and my mom got into like a really big argument. I can't even remember because it was like 3 or 4 weeks ago what we were arguing about, but apparently it was enough to have my mom not talk to me for like the last 3.5 weeks. So that's not good. So I have to rectify that situation. So I thought, man, you really screwed up, Fears. I'm like, it doesn't matter what you argued with, you shouldn't argue with your mom, especially not around this time now, because it's only been 5 months since my dad passed away. So my mom's going through a whole, like world of shit. So am I, but probably my mom more than me, because my mom was married to my dad. But I mean, I miss my dad terribly. So whatever it was, I'm gonna in the future, I'm gonna just try to get along with my mom as much as possible. So I was at the store just getting a few things, and I thought, you know what? What's in the Valentine's Day section? So they had these huge cards. So already I'm gonna get my mom a huge card, not like a little card. I mean a huge card. And then my mom loves chocolate, so I'm gonna try to get her like 2 or 3 boxes of chocolate, and that's what I got so far. Like 2 big boxes of chocolates, and they have my mom's favorite chocolate. It comes in those red heart boxes, and or I thought about going to the British store and getting a whole bunch of my mom's favorite candies. That's what I was thinking. Like I thought, oh well, mixture of both. I'm like, I could go to the Brit, like Friar Tuck has a British store connected to it that sells a whole bunch of British products that you can only get at that British store or in England. So I thought, well, I could like probably mix it. I'm like, I could get my mom a big card, get her some big like chocolates in those heart boxes, and then like go to that British restaurant and go in that British store and just get a bunch of my mom's favorite chocolates, like from across the seas that she grew up with. So that's my plan so far. I'm gonna buy much more, but let me know what you guys think of my plan so far. It's a good start, and it's only February 1st, so I'm going to try to buy all of it by this weekend and have it shipped out by next Monday. So there we are. So I'll probably I'm thinking maybe like after church, get some lunch, possibly at Friar Tuck, because I have not had lunch at Friar Tuck's in quite a while, since Christmas Day. So I love that restaurant. So I think I'll go there and like get some things bought for my mom's gift, because I have to send it way in advance, because anytime I send my grandma a card, or my brother a card, or my mom, because I live in Florida and they live in St. Louis, Missouri, it usually takes up to a week and a half. So I have to send it by like next Monday for it to be there on time. So, yeah. So, fingers crossed. I hope it's the big W. I hope it's the big win, because I really miss hearing from my mom. Like, my mom sometimes calls me, I sometimes call my mom, and I just haven't heard from her in weeks. I hope she's doing all right. I really do. I don't know why, but my elbow is like itching like crazy. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, so let's hope that it works. Let's hope that it works. So we'll see. We shall see. Anyway, and then the last bit of bad news. It's a topic. So today I'm doing 2 reviews. One review on Superpets, and then one review on Your Highness, and then the last topic is Rejection, but I'm going to do Rejection first. So, as you guys know, this is probably the worst. Everybody hates Rejection. Everybody hates Rejection. And, Fears has been trying to find a lady. And I thought, well, you can't blame a guy for trying. So I was on one of the dating apps, and I was talking to this beautiful girl. I guess she was only on there for like friendship, but on her profile it said looking for friendship, dating. Like because on this dating app it tells you have to put on your dating app. I mean, on your profile what you're looking for. Are you looking for a relationship? Are you looking for a short relationship? Are you looking for a friendship? Are you looking for long term? She put dating, long term dating, and then friendship. So I guess she just wasn't interested in me. So, but we had been talking for about a week or two. So I just said, I wrote to her today and I was like, hey, I really have been enjoying our conversation. And she went, oh yeah, me too. She goes, I think you're a very nice guy, John. And I went, I appreciate that. I'm like, you seem like a wonderful person too, Um, so she's like, yeah, she knows our talks have really been nice. I said, they have been. I said, they really have been. I said, so this is where rejection comes in. I thought, okay, Fears. I'm like, she's been enjoying the conversations. Go for it, buddy. And I said it very politely. I said, hey, you know what? I said, speaking of that, I said, I love our conversations. I said, we've been chatting for about, a week or two. I said, I would love to like go out sometime. I said, would you want to like hang out, maybe go play some miniature golf and get something to eat? Or I said we could go to the beach. I said, or we could just do like a very, just a very chill hangout, like at a coffee shop or something. So I was willing to do whatever. I mean, those were just like 2 or 3 ideas that kind of popped out of my mind. I was like, we could go to the beach. I'm like, we could go play some miniature golf. I said, I love miniature golf. I said, or we could just hang out at a coffee shop. I said, for lunch or something. And, and she's like, well, I really, and it was such, she let me down in such a brutal way, but like in a nice way. And she goes, well, and I memorized it. So she goes, well, I really appreciate that, John. Like all the hilarious, things that girls, I love it when girls, they do that one thing where, if they're not interested, they have to feed you some bullshit, so they don't hurt your feelings. But what women don't understand is, I would rather them just say, hey, I'm not interested. This girl was kind of beating around the bush because I guess she didn't want to hurt my feelings. But when women do that, it hurts the man's feelings even more. Like probably the worst one I've ever gotten. I asked this girl to prom, and this was her excuse. Oh, I'm sorry, John. I can't go to prom with you because I'll be at home washing my hair. I'm like, give me a fucking break. I'm like, you have to wash your hair anyway because girls, dazzle up their hair for prom anyway. So I remember I'm standing right by my locker, senior year, and I just went, really? She went, yeah, really. I'm like, you're gonna wash your hair all night? And I was like, you could have just been honest with me. No, I'm being honest. I'm like, no, you're not. So I left, and then the next day, she came up to me at the lunch. She goes, John, I'm really sorry. I didn't know what to say. I said, how about the truth? I said, what are you actually doing? I said, tell me the truth. I said, I've known you since the 4th grade. I said, I thought it would be cool to hang out and go to prom. She went, well, that's the reason. She goes, I've known you since the 4th grade. You're a nice guy. I didn't want to hurt your feelings. I said, but you not telling me the truth hurt my feelings more. I said, what are you actually doing? I said, have you already got a date? Or are you going alone? Are you not going to prom? She went, no, I don't have a date. She goes, I don't want to go out with anyone to the prom. She goes, I just want to go with my friends and just hang out with my girlfriends and just dance all night. I said, that would have been fine if you would have told me that. I would have been like, okay, no worries, no harm, no foul. I'll see you at the prom. Hey, save me a dance. And I said, you're more than welcome to go. But I just hate when girls do that, like when they try to feed you some bullshit, right? Instead of just not telling the truth. So what this girl did, we've been talking for 2 weeks on the dating app, right? And I said, hey, I was very cool with it, but I knew that she was kind of bullshitting me. I knew, okay, she's just not interested, and she just doesn't want to tell me the truth. Either she didn't find me attractive or she just wanted to be friends or whatever the case may be. I'm going to get to everyone's comments in a minute. By the way, what's up, Skylar? What's up, Larry Tate? So this is what she said. So I said, hey, I've been enjoying our conversations. She goes, yeah, our conversations are great. And I said, yeah, I said, I love our conversations. We've been talking for like a week or two. I said, speaking of that, I said, if you'd want, I would love to hang out and get to know you more. I said, we could go to the beach. I said, if you like miniature golf, I said, I love miniature golf. We could go play miniature golf. I said, or we could just like, do kind of like a chill date and just go out for coffee. And this is what she said. She goes, oh, John, I really appreciate it, but you obviously didn't read my profile. So all of a sudden, I'm like, I wrote her back and I was like, what do you mean? I'm like, I read your profile. I'm like, you have 3 cats. And I started like listing off things to show her that I actually read her profile. I said, you have 3 cats? I said, you're a school teacher? And she goes, you read that part of my profile. And I wrote her back and I said, I said, I read all of your profile. She goes, well, you didn't read the part where I'm just looking for friendship. And I said, yeah, I did. I said, you wrote all 3. You said you're looking for friendship, you're looking for long-term dating, you're looking just for casual dating. So I didn't know where she was going. She goes, right. She goes, I'd rather just be your friend. And she goes, I said, okay. I said, that's fine. But it's the way she did it. And she goes, and obviously I don't think we'd click. And I said, well, we've been clicking, so far. When she goes, well, yeah, that's just talking. But she goes, I don't think we'd click like if we hung out in real life. And so I was baffled because I was like, we've gotten along so far while we were chatting. So I think she was just saying all this stuff to beat around the bush. I would have much rather said, hey, you know what, John, you're a really nice guy, but I'm just looking for friendship and, I don't find you attractive. I would have been perfectly if she would have just told me the truth. But I don't know, for some reason, I could tell she just wasn't telling the truth. So rejection sucks. But hey, you know what? I told my friend what happened. He was like, hey, well, Fears, at least you're getting yourself out there. Like, at least you're, like, asking girls out. I said, yeah. I said the last 2 girls that I asked out, I said, we're not interested. I said, at least the first girl that I asked out, remember I told you guys about her? I said she was interested, but then she decided to go back to her ex, But at least she was interested. This girl just was flat out not interested. She's like, well, Fears, it goes, there's many more fish. My friend said, Fears, there's many more fish in the sea. He goes, you know how many times before I met my girlfriend that I got rejected? I said, oh, yeah. I said, listen, man. I said, I know. I said, but dude, I said, it hurts every single time you get rejected. He goes, oh, yeah, Fears. He goes, trust me. He goes, rejection sucks. I said, that it does, my friend. But he's like, Fears, just keep putting yourself out there. He's like, keep putting yourself out there. Keep putting yourself out there. And I said, oh, yeah. I said, I will. Anyway, Skylar says, I think you should get her a DVD and said, chocolate will go away fast. And DVDs will last for... Well, you know what, Skylar? She's not really a big movie buff like me. I mean, my mom watches movies and, like, television and stuff, but not as much as I do. So, plus, I know my mom, she loves chocolate. She loves chocolate, My mom is a chocolate fanatic. So, I'm going to get her a nice Valentine's Day card. So far, this is my plan. I'm going to get her, like, 2 big boxes of chocolate. You know those big heart boxes? I'm going to get her 2 big boxes of those. And then I was thinking about going to Friar Tuck and going to their... Right when you go in, there's a store that sells British products. So I'm going to get her some of her favorite candies and chocolates from England and kind of mix it in. So we'll see. That's what I got so far. And then at Walmart, they have these huge-ass fucking Valentine's Day cards. I almost said calendars. Huge-ass Valentine's Day cards. They're like... literally like that tall and like that wide. I was like, all right, well, I said, that'd be cool. I said, I get her one of those. So that's my plan so far. Larry says, what's up, buddy? And then Skylar says, I think she said a perfectly acceptable thing to you, bud. No, she didn't. No, she didn't, Skylar. No, she did not. Not at all. Not at all. She was beating around the bush, And the way she did it, it was one of those things like where girls... or not even girls, people. Like, when someone says something, like, mean, but they say it, like, in a nice way? She did that. Like, oh, no, all that crap. I'm like, just tell me. Either you're interested or you're not interested. And she was beating about the bush, and I was baffled, to be honest, because I'm like, she's accusing me of not reading her profile. So that was a lie right off the bat, because I'm like, no, I read her profile. From top to bottom, from bottom to top. So she assumes something. So already I don't like when people assume things about me. I'm like, so I'm kind of glad it didn't work out, but already I was like, she's assuming shit. I'm like, I didn't assume anything about her. I'm like, so first of all, she was wrong with that. I'm like, I read your entire profile. Second of all, she was beating around the bush with I don't think we'd get along, which baffles me because we got along for 2 weeks talking. Like we were talking about tons of stuff. Like, oh, what do you like to read? Oh, I like to read this. What about you, John? Oh, I like to read this. She goes, what's your favorite movie? And I'm like, well, it depends. I'm like, what genre? I'm like, I love a whole bunch of movies. So we got along great. And then the first words out of her mouth, oh, I don't think we'd get along in person. And I was like, well, how do you know until you try? So I just don't think she was interested. But anyway, she was all over the place. So, yeah. But see, that's what baffles me, Skylar. We were clicking while we were talking on the internet. And then she said, I don't think we'd get along in real life. And I said, well, we've been getting along in the chat. She goes, yeah, but that's just chatting. I said, well, that's what people do in relationships. I said, just what's different from the internet is you meet somewhere and you have a face-to-face conversation. So I just didn't really get where she was going. I said, what's so different with chatting on the internet on a dating profile to chatting in real I'm just saying, I think we'd get along, but I was like, all right, whatever. I mean, I was very nice about it. I said, okay. I said, well, thanks anyway. She goes, yeah. She goes, I'm just not interested. And I was like, all right, yeah, whatever. I'm like, that's cool. So I was just like, I was baffled beyond belief. Because I was like, well, then why talk to someone for 2 weeks? I was like, we've been getting along. Perfect. But I was a total gentleman. I said, okay. I said, I understand. I said, if you don't want to hang out in person, then I said, she goes, oh, we can still talk here. And I was like, well, I don't want to do that because that's just wasting my time. I'm like, I'm here to look for, a partner. I'm here to look for a girlfriend. I said, I've got enough friends. So I was just like, no, I said, I'm fine. Like, I said, I wish you luck. But I was very nice about it. I said, no, I said, if you're not interested in dating, I said, I think I'm going to take a pass. And she was like, well, good luck to you. And I said, good luck to you. And then I just moved on. So it is what it is. I don't know. It was weird. It was very, very, very weird. That's the thing, Skylar. That's the thing. She did enjoy the conversation. That's what I'm saying. That's why it was baffling to me. Because what was the first thing that came out of her mouth when I told you guys this story? She's like, hey, John, I've really been enjoying our conversation. I said, yeah. I said, the conversation's been going great. She's like, yeah. She goes, I really enjoy talking to you. So right off the bat, I'm telling you, she enjoyed the conversation, right? And then all of a sudden, she did like a 360-degree turn. Oh, I don't think we'd get along in real life, which baffled me because I'm like, we were getting along for 2 weeks chatting. What's the difference between chatting online and meeting up? The only difference is you're physically sitting across the table from someone having a conversation, just like how we were doing online. But I didn't make fun of her. I just said, okay. I said, I understand. I was a gentleman about it. I literally, I said, well, you never know until you try. I said, our conversations have been going fantastic online. She goes, yeah. She goes, I've just got a vibe that we wouldn't kick it in real life. Or whatever the hell she said. I didn't know. I'm old, so I didn't know the fucking lingo that she was saying. Yeah, kick it. So I don't know. It was weird. It was very, very, very weird. So I was just like, but my friends like Fierce. Girls are weird sometimes. I was like, ain't that the truth, buddy? No offense to my female fans. But my friend works at Fierce. I've been dating, my girlfriend for 3 years. This was a friend at work. Not Sam, another friend at work. Said, I still haven't figured her out, Fierce. He goes, they'll change their mind, that quick. He goes, so he goes, probably what happened, Fierce, is she enjoyed the conversation. He goes, or you were like her filler. And I said, what does that mean? He goes, well, what if she was just using you just to talk and get over her feelings, because what if another guy dumped her? I said, that's pretty much a possibility. I said, I didn't ask her about that. And he goes, did anything, then my friend was like, did anything come up oh, I've recently been single? I said, no. I said, she told me she hasn't dated anyone in a year. And I said, oh, I said, well, I said, I'm worse. And then she said, what do you mean? I said, I haven't dated anyone in, well, now it's 4 years, because now we're in 2023. And she was like, oh, that's a long time. I said, that is a long time. And my friend's like, yeah, that's weird, Fierce, just to be like, yeah, like, I've been enjoying our conversation for 2 weeks, and then all of a sudden, oh, no, 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 no. We wouldn't get along in real life. And he goes, Fears, he goes, my friend said, this is my friend saying this. He goes, Fears, there's many more fish in the sea. He goes, whatever it was, he goes, you didn't take it to heart, did you? I said, no. I said, I was a perfect gentleman. I said, all right. I said, well, thanks for the conversation. And I told my friend, I wished her luck. I said, well, I wish you luck. And she said, do you want to still talk and be friends? And I said, I think I'm just going to take off. I said, and I wish you luck. And I said, I'm going to talk to somebody else. I said, I'm kind of looking for a girlfriend. And I said, I already have tons of friends. And then my friend was like, well, what did she say? And I said, she replied with, yeah, that's cool. No problem. I wish you luck too. You have a wonderful day. And then I wrote back, you have a wonderful day too. So it is what it is. It is what it is, but and I didn't know, Scholar, that you're wrong. You're wrong. I didn't show her any of my YouTube vlogs. I didn't show her any of my streams. I didn't. Normally, I tell them all about that like after the first date or two, and I haven't wished death on the trolls in a long time. And all those videos that I did wish death on them, I either erased those videos off my channel, or I went through and looked through almost every single video, and I tried to take down as much of that negativity as possible, because I didn't want that on my channel. So unless one of those idiots have re-uploaded it somewhere else, it's not on my channel. So it wasn't anything like that. But anyway, it is what it is. Rejection sucks. So I just thought I would tell you guys about that. It was so weird, though. It was so weird to go from I'm enjoying our conversation to nothing. But I was like just like my friend said, Beers, women change their mind, that quick. But I wasn't a dick about it. I just went, all right, well, if you're not interested, no harm, no foul. I said, thank you for the conversation. And I said, I wish you luck. I said, I wish you luck. I said, I wish you luck. So it was amicable, but me and my friend thought it was so weird that she talked to someone for 2 weeks. And then, oh no, we wouldn't get along in real life. And I was baffled. I was like, well, we've gotten along. I said this out loud nicely, but I also said it in my head. I'm like, why wouldn't we get along in real life? I'm like, we've been getting along for 2 weeks, chatting on a dating app. So I just was like, okay. I'm like, if you feel that way, all right, whatever. I was nice about it. Yo, Joy Boy, what's up? How you been, buddy? So anyway, you win some, you lose some. It wasn't no big deal, but I'm just like, this is hilarious. But anyway, shout out to all the fans. So those are all the updates. So Sam, when you watch this, I have been itching. I've been itching to watch Sam's new live stream. Sam just started a brand new channel, guys. Check it out. So you guys all know his original stuff. He's got Egotistical Commando on TikTok. So if you haven't followed my friend Sam on TikTok, do that. Everything's at Egotistical Commando except for his YouTube channel. He's got a bunch of YouTube channels. He's got Egotistical Commando. That's his first ever channel that he ever made. Then he made the Marinara podcast, but that's on pause though, because him and his buddy Austin, they're reformatting the podcast. So they said they'll be back doing the Marinara podcast. According to Sam, he told me in about a month or two. And he said, I'm going to be their second guest because I think Sam said he's going to have either his roommate on or his sister on. I think they're going to have their girl roommate on the first one, something like that. But anyway. So be sure to check. I'm giving my friend Sam a plug because Sam makes some pretty cool shit. And I always love whenever me and Sam play video games and stuff together. Sam is a true gamer, just like Sega. I would classify myself as the casual player. I like video games, but I'm definitely not a gamer by any means. I'm a casual player. I would have called myself a gamer when I was a little kid, because from 5 years old to about 13, I played every single game alive. Then 14 rolled around and I discovered girls, and then I just tried to get with every single girl in middle school and high school, and then there it was, and that occupied my time. So yeah, so be sure to check out Sam on TikTok, Egotistical Commando. Check out his first YouTube channel, Egotistical Commando, where he basically uploads like highlights of his highlights and funny videos that he makes of his streams. And then when the Marinara podcast comes back, subscribe to the Marinara podcast, and then check out his new channel called Egotistical Commando Lives, where he's doing all of his live streams. Because apparently Sam said, "Fears, I'm done with Twitch," and this is Sam's word. He said Twitch is so messed up. He goes, "I'm done." And I was like, "Are you still gonna stream, buddy?" He went, "Oh yeah." He goes, "I'm still gonna stream, but just not on Twitch." So now he's streaming on YouTube. So I subscribe to his channel. You guys subscribe to his channel. So his new channel is Egotistical Commando Live. Be sure to check it out. And I'm a man of my word. Sam said, "Fears, I'm playing the new Dead Space, the remake." He goes, "Do not watch any of those streams because we're going to play that after you've completed Dead Space and Dead Space 2. So I've been a man of my word. I've seen the thumbnails, but I have not watched. Sam, I'm a man of my word. I've seen the thumbnails, but I have yet to watch even a frame of Sam's new lives. So, Sam, I hope you've been enjoying the new. I will say this, Sam. I can't lie to you. I did watch a trailer. I watched a trailer, not on Sam's, because Sam doesn't have any trailers up, but I watched a trailer of the new Dead Space. So I kind of know what it looks like, but I haven't seen any. The only gameplay I've seen, not Sam's gameplay, but because as soon as Sam told me about it, I was like, well, I'm not breaking any rules if I watch a trailer. So I watched a trailer of the new Dead Space just to see what it was all about. I'm like, what they've changed. This is where me and Sam differ. Sam said he doesn't like the new look of the guy and his face, because you don't see his face. I guess Sam liked it more like in the first one when he didn't take off his helmet. I guess in this new one, I wouldn't know, but in the trailer he didn't take off his mask. So I don't even know what the guy looks like, but apparently in the game, he takes off his helmet. But his helmet still has that like green glowing effect and shit. So I watched the trailer, and Sam, I gotta say, the trailer that I watched, buddy, because they've got a couple of trailers out there, so I don't remember which one I watched, but from what I remember in the trailer, whoo, it looked pretty awesome. Pretty sweet. Joyboy says, been enjoying Sam's live stream. Well, that's good. Well, I think the better question is why wouldn't you be enjoying them, Joyboy? Sam's a great gamer. Just like Pixel. Pixel's a great gamer. When you game, you haven't gamed in a while, Pixel. Get some new content on there, buddy. Pixel says, I got the Dead Space remake today. Oh, nice. There you go. Well, why don't you do some streaming, Pixel? But see, then I couldn't watch Pixel streams because I don't want to see any gameplay until me and Sam play. Pixel said he played it for like 3 hours at a friend's house the other weekend. It's excellent. Oh, it's sweet, dude. That sounds awesome. But see, so all right, so you're saying that you played it last weekend at a friend's house, but then you just bought it today for yourself. And you played it. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. You said you bought it. Wait. I'm so tired. You bought it, and then you brought it over to a friend's house, and then you played it for like 3 hours. Got it. Jesus, I'm so tired. Oh, Lord. Yo, Stereotypical American, what's up? Pixel says, I do game, I just don't stream it. Yeah, man, but when you used to stream and put it on your Pixel protocol, it was awesome. Pixel, I just miss the Pixel O protocol footage. I miss like the meme like videos that you would put up. I miss like the what I really miss off your channel. I know you've been like going nuts, and I've been watching your wrestling channel too. You put up a lot of great interview and a lot of cool like wrestling content on your wrestling channel, and I'm subscribed to it. But what I really miss off your Pixel protocol, I wish you would upload these. whenever you do go to cons, I would love those like convention video montages of like. So what Pixel would do is he'd be like, all right, hey Fierce, I'm going to a con that lasts 2 days. So Saturday and Sunday, he would like film a bunch of shit on Saturday, film a bunch of shit on Sunday, and then on Monday he would like make this like epic fucking video with like music and transitions. It was like basically like a music video of the entire weekend. And if the convention was 4 days, then he filmed all 4 days or 3 days or whatever kind of convention it was. By the way, Pixel, I'm eating a healthy snack. Fears needs to stop eating Burger King, so I'm eating celery. Because my weakness is BK Lounge. Like I'll be like sitting here editing, and I'll be like, hey, I'm getting really hungry. All right, let me get in the car and mosey on off to Burger King. I can't be doing that anymore, man. I need to lose. I've lost a lot of weight. I just need to lose more weight. So now, for the last couple of weeks, like the last 2 weeks, I've been like, hey, I'm hungry. All right, time for a healthy snack. So, yeah. Let's see here. I'm going to go see that dentist wrestler that you like again next month. Yeah. Yeah, see, now that was cool. I hope you get an interview with her. I remember you showed me a picture of her, Pixel, on her, oh, wait. Yeah, you took a picture with her on, where the fuck was it? Oh, your Instagram. And I think it's so cool that she's both. Like, she loves being a dentist, right? But then she's like, well, fuck that. I'm not going to stop there. I'm going to go chase my dreams and, like, be a wrestler, too. And talk about somebody working hard. I love hardworking people. Because Fears is well, I'll be honest with you. Fears was a lazy hunk of shit when I was a kid and a teenager. But as soon as I hit college days, I was like, all right, time to get off your fat ass Fears and actually work. So since I became a hard worker, I love working. I love working hard. I think it's so fucking cool that she was like, no. Most people give up their dreams and like just do wrestling full time. She does both. She'll be like, oh no, I can't miss my wrestling meet. You know, so she'll like fly back. Where's she from, Pixel? She's from Florida, right? Right? She's from Florida or something. So she'll fly back to Florida, work at her dentist's office for like 4 days, and then go, I can't work Thursday and Friday because I got to travel because I'm doing a convention, you know, in Vegas Saturday and Sunday. And then she'll be back on Monday, right back at her office. Or she'll be like, oh, I can't, if it's her not going to a convention, then she'll be like, oh, hey, I can't work on Thursday and Friday because I got to travel because I'm doing a big fucking wrestling match on Saturday and Sunday. So that's pretty fucking cool. But I forgot where she lives, though, Pixel, right? She lives in Florida somewhere, like Miami or something. I can't remember. But that's cool. That's pretty cool. So where are you going to go see her next month? That's pretty awesome. Let's see. Let me catch up with the chat. Hood Rat says, what's good, motherfucker? Chilling, as always. A Hood Rat just doing a stream. Yes, I played it at my friend's first. Oh, okay. So you bought it at your friend. That's what I was confused about. So you played it at your friend's house for 3 hours, and then you bought it for yourself. Nice. Stereotypical American says, hope works okay. Heard you got sent home early. Everything's okay, Stereotypical American. It just is we're not really busy right now. So, like, last night I only worked for 2 hours. And then they're like, yeah, we're done. We're good, Fears. And I was like, really? He's like, yeah. He's like, we're almost done. He's like, we'll be done in about 30 minutes. Because we only had, like, oh, what was it last night? Because we always have a team meeting, and then they tell you how much we did, how many packages we have. It was somewhere between 38 and 39,000, which is nothing. We can get that done in, like, at the max 3 hours. At the minimum 2 hours. Because that's hardly any packages. Because we have, when you go into the warehouse, there's 10 lines. There's 10 lines of people sorting packages. And then you have, like, the people with the machines on their hand clicking all the packages. I've done both. I do both. I jump back and forth. So sometimes I'm on the ground, you know, sorting the packages, putting them in front of the truck. So when Sam comes in, he's like, hey, Fierce, thanks for sorting my 100 packages. And then Sam jumps in the truck, and then he writes down, you know, and he organizes where his first delivery is going to be. And then, so I don't have to, the greatest part about my job is I just set the packages in front, and then Sam would be like, hey, Fierce, thanks. I'm going to organize them the way I want, and blah, blah, blah. So I've done that. Or if we get really busy, they'll be like, hey, Fierce, jump on the line where it's a moving conveyor belt, and then down this like little slide chute comes the packages, and you just match up your numbers. So if I'm standing in front of truck 207 on line 2, then when I see all the 207 packages come down, I grab them, scan them, and then put them in the truck. And then whenever the drivers come in, I'll be like, hey, I've already organized them for you, but if you want to sometimes they keep it in the way I've organized them, because I organize them by the numbers in the truck. Sometimes they're like, yeah, Fears did a great job. Other times they're like, well, Fears, I've been at FedEx for 9 years. I've got my own little system. And then I go, yeah, whatever. I'm like, however you want to do your setup, you know. So we only had like 39,000. So I was working, and then so it's fine, stereotypical American. I just wish we were a little bit busier, you know. That's all I'm going to say. But I'm still working. Everything's fine. I didn't get in trouble or anything. Just this, yeah, we're done, Fears. And I was like, I looked at my watch, because sometimes I wear a watch in, because they don't want you bringing in your cell phone into the factory. So I always bring my cell phone, but I leave it in the car. And then I check all my messages when I get done with work and I get out to the car. So sometimes I wear a wristwatch. And I'll be like, it's only been 2 hours. He's like, yeah. He goes, we only had like 38,000 Fears. And I'm like, oh, all right, cool. He's like, yeah, we're going to be done like in 15 minutes. So he's like, I'm going to send you and Richard. And Richard was standing right next to me. And we're walking out, and Richard's like, well, that sucks, Fears. And I was like, yeah. I'm like, it's kind of the non-busy season. He's like, yeah, but as soon as like, and this is Richard saying this. He's like, yeah, but Fears, as soon as like Valentine's Day comes around, he goes, we'll be fucking like busy for weeks. I said, yeah, but I said, and I looked at Richard. I said, that's fine, Richard. But I said, I like to work. I like to make money. I like to pay my bills on time, buddy. I'm like, I'm not like a sack of shit. I'm not a lazy piece of crap. I said it in a nice way. I said, I just hope that busyness goes through the holidays, you know? And he's like, Fears, he goes, I've been with FedEx for like, I can't remember, he said like 8 or 9 years. He goes, you've only been here for like 5 months, Fears. He goes, there's spurts of busyness. He goes, we'll have a couple of weeks where it's like crappy hours like this. He goes, but Fears, give it a month and then we'll be super fucking busy. And I was like, I hope so, buddy. And he's like, trust me. He goes, I've been here a long time. It's up and down, up and down. He goes, it won't be for that long. And I was like, well, that's good. That's good. Let's see. Let me catch up. Hood Rat says, oh, damn. No, it wasn't Crohn's. Pixel says, with this new job, I may get a better camera. Oh, nice, buddy. Sweet. Well, Pixel, whenever we hang out in real life, you have to tell me what the job is. Don't tell me now, because you know how the fucking trolls are. They have to find everything out about you. Or at least with me they do. I don't know about you. But if you say it, Pixel, they'll be like, ooh, what's Pixel up to? You know? You know how they are, Pixel. They go fucking nuts. With this new job, I may get a better camera. That's cool. Which will make me want to do videos again. I just want to get Vegas paid for sure. Oh, yeah, man. Listen, if I could go with you to Vegas, buddy, that would be great. But I didn't get an invite, so I'm not going to invite myself. It's only when Pixel wants to invite me out or when he's got a space occupied. We've been talking about it, though, because Pixel wrote me on Twitter and said, hey, have you got a space lined up? And I was like, buddy, I'm not doing shit until October, because that's when I'm going to go visit my best friend Eric and his family. Because I'm like me and Eric, we're not even really friends anymore. We're like brothers, you know? So we are friends, but Eric considers me like a brother. Like I know everyone in his family. They've accepted me into his family. So he's like, Fears, you got to come visit, man. He goes, I miss the Fears Meister. And I was like, I'm coming. I'm like, hold your horses. I'm coming. He's like, yeah, Fears, we got to go nuts. And I'm like, we're going to go nuts. We're going to go to all the haunted houses, buddy. I said, I can't miss your epic Halloween party like I always do whenever I come to see my family. I said, I'll set some Eric time, you know, Eric and Fears time. I said, I'm going to set some time to hang out with my mom and my brother and good old Grandma Fears. I always take out my grandma out to lunch. That was the first thing, Pixel. Like, my grandma called me. She's like, what, you're coming? And I said, I'm coming in October. She's like, can we go to Applebee's? My grandma loves some Applebee's. I said, Grandma, we can go anywhere you want. We can hit up Applebee's. We can go to Ruby Tuesdays, wherever the hell you want. We'll go nuts. She loves those Applebee's steaks. And I'm like, I got to admit, their steaks are pretty good. So, yeah. But from now until October, I've got nothing, Pixel. So, once you get done with your Vegas trip, and I really want to go to that, what the hell is that con? Not Galaxy Con. The fucking one you always go to in South Carolina. What the fuck? Help me out, Pixel. What's that fucking con that you said we should go and do? I think that would be the best time. I really want to go to that. And plus, I miss you, buddy. I really want to hang out with you. I really want to get you in a vlog. I really want to go to the con, hang out with you, and then I told Pixel, I said, I don't mind staying a few days after the con so Pixel could show me around like his town and shit, and I want to play some video games. And get some pizza and get drunk and go nuts. So, let me know, Pixel. Let me know. That's cool that you got a new job, though, buddy. That's awesome. Congrats. So, was it a promotion, or did you just quit a job and just get a better job? Because if you got a promotion, that's fucking wicked cool. That's awesome. Stereotypical American said, well, no, it wasn't a new girl, Stereotypical American. She just turned me down. It wasn't a new girl. I just was talking to a girl for 2 weeks. Like, we hadn't even went on a date yet. But when I asked her, she just totally flipped the switch and was like, no, I'm not interested. And I was like, well, then why would you talk to me for 2 weeks? But I'm like, all right, cool. I wasn't a dick to her, though. I just said, okay, cool. Like, if you're not interested, you're not interested. It wasn't too bad, but like I was saying, Stereotypical American, rejection sucks no matter. They can be the nicest person in the world, but when someone rejects you, at least for me, it sucks because, like, you got up the courage to ask them, like, hey, I really like you. I think you're really cool. Like, I'd love to take you out, And this girl was really nice. Like, she was really nice. We had a bunch of stuff in common. Like, she liked a couple of the movies that I like. I like to read sometimes. She liked to read, and she named off like 20 books that she'd already read this year. And I was like, oh, that's cool, And we had a really good conversation for like 2 weeks, but then she was like, you know what? I don't think we'd get along like in real life. And I was like, there's not much difference between talking online and talking across the table at a coffee shop, or if we went out to dinner, or if we went to miniature golf or whatever. You're just in person. But I was like, all right, well, if that's how you feel, yeah, no worries. So it kind of sucked, but it is what it is. So yeah. That's right, Pixel. Pixel says the wrestler that he's talking about, she lives in Florida. That's what because I remember you telling me that. She lives in Florida. Yes, she wrestles on Wednesdays, then flies home the same night, and then goes to work Thursday morning. See, that's fucking cool. That's determination. Like, we need more people like that, man. Like, that's hard work. So she wrestles, right, Pixel? Like you said, she'll get there on a Wednesday, right? Because she doesn't only do wrestling. Pixel's seen her at tons of conventions. You've met her twice, right? It's either one or twice, and now Pixel's going to meet her for like a third time, right? So she does she does basically 3 jobs because they pay her to go to those conventions. So she basically has 3 jobs because whenever you're a celebrity and you go to those conventions, those are like a job in itself. So she does the conventions, then she's the dentist, and then she does the fucking wrestling. That's pretty dope. That's pretty cool. And I've interviewed a bunch of celebrities at conventions. They pay those celebrities pretty handsomely to go to those conventions. So they definitely make a good amount of coin going to those. But that's fucking cool. That's what it is. Richmond Galaxy. Oh, so I was right, Pixel. Because at first I said, no, it's not GalaxyCon. I just couldn't remember the Richmond part. I'm down, dude. Let me know. I just have to get the OK from Pixel that I can stay with him, that we can go to the con, because I have to know way in advance, Pixel, because the way, FedEx works, they literally told us in the train, they said, does anyone have any questions? And some girl raised her hand and said, like, oh, how does, like, benefits work, and how do, like, days off work, and how does vacation work? And they said, here's how vacations work. They said, if you want to go visit your family, like, let's say it's January, and you want to go visit your family, like, in March. They said, we recommend the people put it in, like, January or the beginning of February, because they said, the more in advance you put it in, the more likely you're going to get it. They said, if you put it in, like, a month before or a week before, they're going to be like, yeah, that's not happening. You're like, you're not getting that. Because they need to find people to take over your shifts while you're gone. So I just need to know way in advance, Pixel, if we're going to do that convention. So let me know. Let me know, like 2 months in advance, because that would be enough. I'd be like, hey, I'm going to go visit a friend. I put it in 2 months in advance. And if I did that, then they would be like, oh, yeah, you're good, Fierce. They're like, that's way in advance, Probably even a month or a month and a half would be good too. They just don't want people putting it off like the week before because they're like, well, you gave us no time to find people to take over your shifts. They're like, yeah, that's not happening. So I always try whenever I go and visit like my family, like probably next month I'm gonna put that in for that Orlando. I mean, not Orlando, that Missouri trip. And they'll be like, oh, Fears, that's months and months and months away. Yeah, you're good. You'll get it. So let me know, buddy, because I really want to come see Pixel and do that epic hangout that we've been talking about forever and ever and ever, man. Plus, Pixel has showed me pictures and video of that GalaxyCon. Holy shit, he's not kidding. There's fucking anything and everything there. There's like 9 movie cars there usually. One time Pixel went and said, hey, Fears, I wish you were here. The fucking Echo 1 is here. And I was like, really? And he goes, oh, yeah. And he showed me pictures, and I was like, God damn it. I'm like, I miss all the good shit. He said the fucking convention center's like going buck wild, like over 1,000 tables and shit. Or I don't even know. I'm putting words in Pixel's mouth. Pixel, I don't know how many you said. You said it was way more than any con you've ever been to, Fears. Because the biggest con I've ever went to, there's 2 cons that I've ever went to. And that's that Halloween and Attractions con that was like 4 days long. And that had like probably 30,000 to 40,000 people show up. Not every single day, but as a whole. And then Wizard World Comic Con. Anytime I went to a Wizard World Comic Con, and now they don't call it Wizard World anymore. They changed the name. I don't know why, because Wizard World Comic Con, that was a pretty cool name. Now, I still follow them on Instagram. Now it's like the Fan Expo or something like that. I can't remember what it's called. I think it's like the Fan Expo. And I was like, that's kind of cool. That's kind of a cool name. But like Wizard World Comic Con, that was unique. So I much prefer that name. Like that was a big con too. But I remember like Pixel tell me about the GalaxyCon. He went, Fears, it's like that Halloween convention and that fucking Wizard World like mixed together. That's how big that fucking thing is. I've checked it out. I've seen Pixel's videos on it. I've seen all the shit that they post. I subscribe to the GalaxyCon, their Instagram, and there's fucking a million pictures on that. It's huge. It's like going nuts. So yeah. Tyler says, hey man, can't stay long. Just heard about your hours got cut. That's too bad, man. Yeah, it sucks. But you know what? They'll be back, Tyler. But I appreciate you coming by. They'll be back. Hopefully they make you full-time soon. That's what I'm working towards. I'm working towards being full-time. I'm sure it will happen, Tyler. It's just, it just takes time. It'll happen. And now I got some fucking like celery stuck in my teeth, so hang on. That's the only thing about eating fucking celery. It gets stuck between your teeth. Give me a second. There we go. I got it on it's like stuck in between it. I heard about that, Joy Boy, and I hope Pretend Story Times is alright. I don't know what happened. I heard that he got sick or something. So I did write him. I wrote him on, when did I write him? Like 2 days ago on the Discord. I said, I hope you're alright. I hope you're okay. I haven't checked the Discord today, so maybe he wrote me back. Maybe he didn't. I really don't know. So yeah. So Skylar says, I've never heard of that Halloween attraction. Oh, it's big. It's huge, Skylar. It is huge. I haven't went to it in a couple years, though. They still do it, though. They still do it. So, yeah. They still do it. It's probably one of the biggest Halloween conventions in the Midwest, if not the biggest. It's huge. Triple says, what body part aches the most after sorting packages all day? Sometimes my shoulders, because it's always, you're always bending down, sorting all the packages, or sometimes my back. But I'll be honest, Triple, it's not that bad. It's not that bad, I definitely lose a lot of weight doing that. I mean, it's a very rewarding job, but it's also, like, they have no air conditioning in that warehouse. But it's usually pretty cold in there because they have these massive, 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 massive fans on each line. And there's a couple of fans, and they always have them spinning. So there's always a lot of wind in there. Or maybe they do have AC. I really don't know. Sometimes it feels like they don't have AC, but I always see these massive fans on 24/7. They never like. I've never seen them turn them off. If they did turn them off, that warehouse would probably be really hot. But so yeah, so but it's really not that bad, and it's rewarding because you see all that hard work pay off. And I make decent money. The only thing is like the drivers make like I think a couple bucks more than the package handlers. But Sam said he's gonna put a good word in for me because he said, well, Fears, sometimes drivers can't hack it and sometimes the package handlers can't hack it. So many people have quit from whenever like in my little like like they always have like a little class whenever you join. So in my training class, only me and like 3 other guys. And there was like 50 people in my training class. So a lot of people sometimes can't hack it. Whether it's a driver or a package handler, they'll be like, oh, fuck all this hard work. I'm not doing this shit. And then a lot of people quit. So like Sam said, well, Fears, whenever more drivers quit, he goes, I'll put a good word in for you and we can try to get you as a driver or a full-time package handler. And I was like, oh, that'd be great, buddy. So yeah. So yeah. We shall see. We shall see. And sometimes you can work extra days. Like I always check the app, and sometimes they'll be like, hey, like a few people are sick on van line 4, like you want to come in. So I always, like I checked tonight, and there's no free hours this week. So, but at least I think normally Wednesdays are a hit or a miss. Sometimes we're busier than all hell, or sometimes we're like, yeah, we got a chill night, 39 packages. Anything 50,000 packages or more, that's going to be a late night, a busy night. Anything like 40 packages or lower, they usually say, oh yeah, pretty chill night, only like 22,000, 30,000, blah, blah, blah. So we'll see how many packages we got. But Tyler, I appreciate you coming by, buddy. Good to see you. I hope work's going good. Tyler works a lot. That's the first time I've seen Tyler in the chat in quite a while. So, Tyler, hopefully this weekend, buddy, I'm going to do probably a stream after church because I haven't been to church in like 2 weeks because I couldn't go last weekend because that's when the big epic RetroCon that I went to, which, by the way, was fucking amazing. And I texted Jeff, and he was like, hey, Fears, what'd you think? I'm like, fucking epic, dude. And he's like, well, he goes, I saw a couple pictures. I was like, dude. I said, did I not grab my phone and just kind of, spin through? And he goes, oh yeah, Fears, you took a lot. I said, it's going to take me a minute to edit all those photos and put them on my Instagram and fucking video and shit. And he goes, have you started? I said, no, not yet. I said, I'm planning to. I said, I'm going to edit this miniature golf video, which is almost done, by the way. I'll have it up either tonight or tomorrow. I said, once that's done, then I'm going to start working on the Super RetroCon shit. And he went, oh, that's cool, buddy. So Jeff, good job, man. That convention was sweet. Oh, yeah. Let's see here. Hoodrat says, 2 weeks for a date is a waste of time, fella. Get in there, get out. I mean, listen, it's not for a lack of trying, Hoodrat. I was trying, but I was just kind of going with the flow. I was chatting with her. She was asking me questions on the dating app. I asked her questions back, and then I felt after 2 weeks, I was like, you know what? I've gotten to know this girl a little bit. Probably should ask her out now. And I did. And it just didn't work out. She was just like, no, I'd rather just be friends, all that crap. And I was like, all right, well, I'm like, I appreciate it. I'm like, you gave me the opportunity to ask you out. You're not interested. Time to move on. I'm like, it is what it is. So, yeah. But yeah. The hunt continues for either a Mrs. Fears or a potential Mrs. Fears. She's out there. I don't know where, but she's out there. All right, let me scroll down. Let's see here. But anyway, so that's what's been going on. But Pixel, definitely let me know, buddy. Let me know about because I know you got a couple conventions. You got the fucking Vegas convention coming up. I forgot the name of that one, but you and your friends are going to Vegas. Which, by the way, that's fucking cool. But let me know. Let me know. Sorry, I've been munching on a healthy snack. Hope you guys don't mind. Yo, Heroes, what's going on, buddy? How you been? Well, it's better than BK Lounge, even though I like BK Lounge. But Fears has got to get the pounds off. I've been getting the pounds off. Just I need to get it off more. So yeah, but I'm doing my best. I've been in and out of the gym. I went on a walk today. Burned a lot. If you walk around my apartment complex twice, that's 2.5 miles. So I've been losing the weight. So, like when Sam first met me, I was super fat. I was like 240, and that's fat for a short guy. And last time I looked, Fears is down. I think I checked about a week ago. So I haven't checked in a while. I probably should check tonight before I go off to work. 2 weeks ago, I was 188. So we're getting there. We're getting there. So yeah. Vegas isn't a convention. It's just an 8 days of... Oh, okay. Oh, so it's a trip, Pixel. Oh, I got it. Well, once your Vegas trip is done, and I know you got a couple of conventions that you already planned after that, let me know, man, because I really want to come visit. Because now would be the time to visit, buddy, because we've been talking about it for I've known you since what, 2016, and we've been wanting to hang out, so let me know, since I want to come for a couple of days. I mean, the ultimate hangout would be come and do the convention, because I don't know, is it the fucking Richmond GalaxyCon, isn't it just on Saturday and Sunday? Fears could fly in Friday, spend the night, do Saturday, Sunday, and then just chill at your house for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. 3 days of just gaming and going nuts, and you could show me around. Because I've only been to South Carolina. I think you live in, I can't remember. Tommy lives in North Carolina, right? And you live in South Carolina. I know you guys live close, or maybe it's the other way around. But I've only been to North Carolina once in my life, and I was 15, and I went there for a church camp convention. The convention lasted with my church camp for 5 days, so it was a kind of a quick camp, church camp. They called it a church camp convention, so that was pretty fun. And then me and my mom and my dad and my brother, we went whitewater rafting somewhere in South Carolina. It was on some river, and I honestly can't remember. I was 13 or 14. So I've only been to both of those places once. So I'm well overdue for a visit again to South Carolina or wherever you live, Pixel. I know it's South Carolina, something like that. Anyway, but let me know, buddy, because I would love to come visit. I would love to come visit. That would be epic. Because I haven't played it yet. I've watched Pixel play it, but I've been waiting to. With Pixel, sit down and play fucking Friday the 13th, Pixel, that fucking game you showed me. I know it's super old, but man, it looks fucking great. So I want to play that with Pixel, because Pixel is a big fan of Friday the 13th, just like me. I don't know if Sam is, but I would rather want to play that Friday the 13th game and stream it on Pixel's fucking channel. Because I would be honored to be on the Pixel Protocol channel, Pixel. We got to do it. We got to, or at least stream it on yours, or maybe just vlog it, and put it on mine. Something like that. We got to figure it out, buddy. We have got to figure it out. But let me knows. Let me knows. Let me knows. Let's see here. Hero says, I'm just chilling, just smoking a blizzy. Heroes, I'll invite you on the next one. I just decided to do just a solo stream today. So, yeah. Remember the Trick Fears Tommy NC? Oh, yeah. That's right. Yeah, that's why he... Duh. That's fucking hilarious. That's why he puts that in. I forgot. I totally forgot about that. That's right. Now I know for a fact Tommy lives in North Carolina. The NC stands for... That's right. Pixel lives in South Carolina, and Tommy lives in fucking North Carolina. That's right. That's right. I totally forgot that's why he puts that in his fucking... In his logo, Triple. Thank you for reminding me about that. Man, I must be more tired than I thought. Ugh. Yo! Visions. Lord Visions. Lord Visions. What's going on? He says, hey, Fears. Fears is working from home with his mug, just like the dude. Oh, yeah, that's right. I saw that. I saw that in the Discord. Plus, the dude had a really good setup. he had his laptop over here, like on this mount, and then on the other side he had like his big fucking. I don't need two computers. I don't know why the dude had two computers anyway. You just need one, but apparently he's got two, right? There it is. There it is. But yes, Visions gave the dude this, and I thought it was fucking hilarious because the dude got the mug even before Fears, and I'm the Fears man, so that's why it was even more fucking hilarious. Like, I remember Visions wrote me and said, "Hey, Fears, guess what? Good news, sport." And I said, "What? What's going on?" And he went, "Well, you know how I made you the Fears mug?" And I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "Well, your mug's on the way." And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "But guess what?" And he goes, "I gave a mug to the dude." And I was like, "So the dude?" And then Yakov got a pin first. So I was just fucking losing. I said, "Oh, so they got Fears merch before the Fears man." And he went, "Yeah, isn't it hilarious?" And I was like, "That is pretty fucking hilarious." So yeah. I didn't take offense to it, Visions. I thought it was fucking great. I thought it was hilarious. So, yeah. But again, I didn't know the dude was that big of a fan of mine. But apparently, he loves the Fears Man footage. Even though me and him have, like, had our battles back in the day. Now me and the dude were good. We're good. We are good. Or, I think we're good. So, yeah. But, yeah. I think me and the dude are good. Hero says, "It's all good. I'm busy, my friend." Yeah, I just wanted to do a solo stream today, buddy. But I'll either have you on this weekend after church, Heroes, or either before church, or we'll figure it out. Joy Boy says, "Yo, yo, yo, Heroes." Pixel says, "I haven't been to South Carolina in a long time." Oh, okay, never mind, Pixel. So I guess you live in North Carolina too. Okay. I'm being honest. I'm tired, and I just couldn't remember where Pixel lived. So there it is. There it is. So, Pixel, just forget all what I said about coming to South Carolina. Wherever you live, North Carolina, let me know when I can come. Write me on Twitter. Write me on Instagram. I know you got some prior conventions and some prior plans, but I really want to come visit you, buddy. Let me know. And if we can't do it this year, then maybe we can do it next year after the epic Lord Visions trip. Because the Visions trip is next year. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Vision says 2 screens rock so much. Yeah, but why do you need 2 screens, though? Like, I get it if you're a gamer. You know, you can have one game going on one side and then one game on the other side. But I don't know. Like, whenever I edit or whenever I email or do my editing work, Visions, I just need one computer. I just sit here, or sometimes I edit in 3 places. Sometimes I sit here on the floor and edit away, or I'll grab my computer and lay on my bed and edit, or I'll sit over there at the table and edit. But I do a lot of editing right here. This is my favorite spot, just to sit on the floor and edit away. So yeah. Vision says he bought some stuff and said that he loved Fears content so much, so I sent him one. See, I didn't know that. That's cool if the dude is a fan. I thought he wasn't a fan, though, because we've had so many battles back in the day. But that's cool that even though we battled in the past, that he's still a fan. But I'll be honest, me and the dude are pretty cool now. I mean, I've talked to him a couple of times in LC's Discord, and we've gotten along great. So, I don't know if we're friends, but we get along, you know. We've gotten along much better in LC's Discord than we have from all I've known him. So, yeah. So, it's getting better. Yep. Oh, fucking hilarious. Pixel says, "I'm just kidding. I am in South Carolina." Wait, you just said I'm in North Carolina. See, Pixel's fucking with me. Is it fucking North Carolina where you live or South Carolina? Let me knows. I'm pretty sure that you live. I'm pretty sure from what Tommy told me. You know what? I'm fucking calling Tommy. Give me a second. I'll find out. I'll find out, buddy. I'll find out right now. Because Tommy knows. Tommy knows. Because I've got Tommy NC 2010's number. We'll figure this out. All right. Trying to pull a fast one on Fears, huh, Pixel? Well, check this shit out. I'm going to call Tommy right now. Oh, yeah. Watch it. He'll be at work and he won't pick up. Hello?
Hello, this is Tommy.
No!
Leave your message, and that's the bottom line.
Damn it, he's not there.
As always, I'm keeping you on the inside. Fact. Have a nice day. At the tone, please record your
I'm gonna go
message.
nuts
When
on
you
Tommy's
finish recording,
fucking
you may hang
voicemail.
up or press 1 for more options.
Where are you when I need you?
To leave a callback number, press 5.
Tommy! Tommy! Where are you when Fears needs you? I'm trying to figure out a little puzzle here, buddy. And you're not here. Normally when I call you, you pick up. Are you at work? Let me know, buddy. Give me a call. I need to know something. I know you live where you told me, but I'm trying to figure out where Pixel lives. And he's going nuts on me, and I can't figure it out. He keeps jumping back and forth from North Carolina to South Carolina. Call me back, buddy. I need to know this. Let me know. All right, bye. I thought for sure he was going to pick up. Hilarious. Well, I'll figure it out sooner or later. That I will. I will. I'll figure it out. No, it's not that, Skylar. It takes me long to edit sometimes because sometimes I get in creative moods and sometimes I get in lazy moods. And whenever I'm in those lazy moods, I don't edit as good. But whenever I get in those creative, like the juices are flowing and that creative genius comes over, that's when my best shit comes out. Plus, since my dad passed away, I told you guys it's going to take me a while to get over that. And some days I'm into editing and some days I'm like, fuck this. I'm not editing today, So yeah. South to the north of Carolina on the southeast end. Okay. So it is North Carolina. You just live in the south part of North Carolina. Okay, finally, Pixel. Whew. I was like, dude, where the hell do you live? Yeah. Well, Skylar, he probably wasn't at work, because I don't know when Tommy works, but he doesn't work. I mean, well, it's not really the middle of the day. 5 is getting towards at night because I eat dinner around 6 or 7 usually before I go off to work. So it's 5. So it's getting towards the end of the day. So yeah. A little disappointed he didn't do his classic sign-off after his voicemail. I mean, anytime I've called Tom, he always says keeping you on the inside. In fact, I thought that was his I thought that was his classic. That's usually Tommy's like classic send-off. Keeping you on the inside fact. Or something like that. Again, I haven't watched all the old Tommy videos. I did watch this one, Pixel, you've probably seen it. I guess some guy was like going nuts on Tommy, and Tommy just went into full-on rage mode and turned around and like spit on him or something. Oh God, if he would have did that to me, I would have been pissed. Any person that spits on Fears. Now granted, like Tommy was like super young in that video. He looked, I don't know, 17, 18. So I guess whenever he did that, like he was, a young teenager or whatever. But I'm telling you, anyone that spit on Fears, your life would be over as you know it. If anyone did that to me, I'd be like, all right, yeah, well, you're dead. You're going through a window. Because no one would ever spit on me. Like, that is the worst insult ever. So, I saw that video. I've even talked to Tommy about that. I've been like, Tommy, I'm a little disappointed. And like, you spit on, I don't know who it was. It was some dude. But again, some dude was like egging it on. Like, this guy was like just annoying the fuck out of Tommy. And I guess just Tommy couldn't take it anymore. Or it was something like that. Tommy told me about this video and he sent me a link or something. It's ages ago. Then there was another video. He's like in the shower with his clothes on and he's like singing and he's like holding like a shampoo bottle or something. That video was pretty fucking hilarious. It kind of reminded me of a Richie Wright challenge because Richie always stands in the shower either in normal clothes or in that wrestling singlet. I don't know why. Just random a wrestling singlet. And I messaged Richie one day and was like, did you actually wrestle in high school or college? And I think he told me no. He just likes wrestling singlets. And I was like, okay, right on. I'm like, usually people that have wrestling singlets, they've wrestled. But I'm like, I don't judge people, so I'm like, right on, Richie, you are the challenge fucking master. I'm like, you dunked that fucking ketchup on you mid-shower with all the fucking, like, black, grimy shit, you know, on the back wall, and he hasn't, like, cleaned his shower in about 2 years, and I was like, go on, you go nuts, buddy, go for it, go ballistic. Richie's great, I love that guy. He is the challenge man. I said, Richie, if I ever come to visit you, I said, I'm going to hop in that tub, and I said, if you don't do the ranch bathing challenge, I said, Fierce will do the ranch tub challenge. I said, I will fill up your entire fucking tub. I don't care how much it costs. Fierce will fucking fill up that entire thing with ranch, and I'll just fucking dive in and, you know, fucking bathe in ranch a second time. It wouldn't cost that much. Richie's like, I don't know, Fierce, that would cost a lot. I'm like, dude, get about 30 to 40 of those big ass fucking bottles that are like that big and that fucking wide. You would fill up that tub quick with ranch. And then just dive in. So that's why I remember Randy was like, Fierce, why don't you do it? And I was like, oh, I'll do it. So I just did like kind of a shower version of it. And people loved it. And I was like, well, Randall, I said, the only way I'll ever do this again is if I actually hang out with Richie. Because I was like, I'll just jump in Richie's tub and fill that bitch up. But I would never do it again at my house. No. So yeah. Fears, I'll let him know you were trying to contact him. Well, I hope he gets better, Joy Boy. I really do. I don't know what happened, though. Apparently, Pretend Stories got sick or something. He had to go to the hospital. I wish him well. I hope he gets better. I wrote him a message on the Discord. I said, hey, man, feel better. I said, I don't know what happened, but feel better. Have you ever had hot cider? Yeah, usually I've had, like, cider, like, but I'll tell you what, Gaming Attack Yeti, the best cider to have was when I was a kid. Like, around Halloween time in Missouri. Halloween time in Missouri, guys, they go fucking epic. Like, there's not much Halloween shit going on in Florida, you know? They do a little bit, but Missouri is the best place to celebrate, or anywhere in the Midwest, because there's jack-o'-lanterns everywhere, all the fall leaves, and you can't really do it so much now because you can't really trust a lot of people. Like, if I had kids, I would be like, all right, don't drink anything that anyone gives you because there's psychos out there. Like, when I went out trick-or-treating, it was in the 80s and 90s, and you could trust more people back then because there was less psychos back there. Like, I remember going up to people's house, and there was this old lady at the end of the street. She always made homemade, like, candy corn. She made, or not candy corn, she made homemade apple cider, and then she had like those caramel apples, and they were the best. But see, you could do that back then. You can't do it today. If someone was like, hey, I made some hot apple cider, a parent would be like, well, don't drink that. Like, what if that person's a psycho and they want to poison my kid or something like that? Like, if I had kids, I'm like, you only accept candy, like, in sealed wrappers. I'm like, if someone gives you a homemade candy apple, don't eat that shit, you know? Because you never know. You got to be real careful these days because there are crazy psychos out there that want to, like, hurt kids. Hell, we got Matt Man being a pedophile. Ooh, I love kids. Da-da-da-da-da. Matt Man is the worst fucking crazy maniac. You know, like, if I had kids, I would punch Matt Man right in the face. You know what I'm saying? He's disgusting. So you have to, like, look out for all that shit, you know? Matt Man has said all that crazy shit. So yeah. But I'm telling you, that's the best cider I had growing up. It was homemade cider. I mean, I've had other ciders that you can get, like, in the, you know, at Walmart. They have it, like, in the milk bottle jugs. Those are good, too. Don't get me wrong. Those are good, too. But anytime, like, I've had homemade cider at someone from my church in Missouri made some. That shit was amazing. So I've got two church families now. I have church family in Missouri, and now I've made, like, a new church family out here. But they haven't made cider yet. The one in my church family in Orlando. But the church family in Missouri, they've made homemade cider before, and whoo, that was good shit. So, Gaming Attack Yeti, that's the best kind of, that's the best cider I've ever had, is that homemade stuff, like when I was a kid, or the really nice old lady that made me some in at my church in Missouri. Those two are great. Those two are fantastic. But again, it just sucks that you can't like take stuff like that from people's houses anymore. Like when you go trick or treating, it sucks that you, like if I was married and had kids, I'd be like, listen, you can't trust anyone. Like, what if someone puts a razor blade in a fucking, candy apple? I said, there's psychos out there. So I would tell my kids, I'm like, unfortunately, don't drink anything anyone gives you. I said, unless it's in a sealed, wrapper, don't eat a caramel apple. Don't eat any of that, because whenever I went trick or treating, my mom and dad always came with me until I got older. Like from 1 year old to about 6 or 7, me and my brother was always accompanied by like my cousins on my dad's side, like because my cousins were around my age, like 5, 6, 7. They always came with us, and then my cousins' mom and dad, they came, and then my mom and dad came. But when we got older, like around, I think, whenever I was old enough to take my younger brother out, then we did it like just me and my brother. Like so, I was about 8 or 9, because my brother is 3 years younger than me. So like when I was 9, he was 6. So I took my brother around. So my mom was like, hey, as soon as you're old enough, take out your younger brother. And then we went out by ourselves. But it sucks that you can't trust people these days because, unfortunately, there's psychos out there that want to hurt kids, which is so fucked up. So that's why it always disgusts me when someone brings up Mattman, or when I have to bring up Mattman, because he's so fucking disgusting. That's all I'm going to say. I know that was a long answer, Gaming Attack Yeti, but that's the best cider I've ever had. Probably the second best one. I bought some cider probably my second Halloween down here in Florida, and because I was like, you know what, I haven't had cider like in a milk jug in quite a while. So I was like, I'll go to Walmart. Oh no, it wasn't Walmart. I went to Publix and bought some at Publix, and that was pretty good too. And then I just heated it up because cold cider, I've never had cold cider, but so I poured that out of the jug, and then I just put it in the microwave and heated it up, and it was really good. But the best one I've ever had, to answer your question, was the ones that were homemade back in the day. So yeah. Vision says, I think Richie is just scared to do much of anything. People have offered to buy him enough ranch or dew for a bath. I mean, Visions, I think he should do it. I mean, that would be the ultimate challenge. And he would get so many views. Now, granted, whenever I did it, I just did it because I knew it would make you guys laugh. And I knew that was cringe. But I was like, Randall, because Randall was like, Fears, they're going to make fun of you forever. And surprisingly, not a lot of people made fun of me about that. But I was just like, oh, God. I'm like, if Richie doesn't do this, then I have to do it. I'm like, it would be like a funny video out of left field. No one would fucking expect it. And I even looked at Randall. I remember he was like, Fears, I'm telling you. Randy didn't want to do it. He was like, Fears, I'll film it. But he's like, I don't think you should do it. And I can't remember exactly what Randall said, but Randy was like, Fears, they are going to make, like the trolls are going to make fun of you. I said, Randall, who cares? They make fun of me either way. I'm like, fuck them. I'm like, they're spineless, gutless cowards. Who the fuck cares? I'm like, no matter what I do, Randall, if I made 10,000 videos in a day, they'd be like, no, I think you should have made 11,000, Fears. I'm like, nothing will ever be good enough. I remember saying something like that to Randall. So I'm like, Randall, it'll be funny. And I'm like, I said, Randall, I admit, it is cringe. I said, the only reason why I'm doing that is because Richie won't do it. And Richie said, hey, Fears, have at it. It's all yours, buddy. And so I said, it has to be done. I said, because I want to see someone do that. I said, plus, everybody knows that I love ranch. I said, I love ranch as much as I love, like, movies. Like, I love putting ranch. I love dipping ranch. Like, anytime I went to, like, a party as a kid, I always, like, anytime, like, my birthday, I told my mom, I said, hey, Mom, can you go to the store and get that sourdough bread? Like, my mom would put out a bunch of, like, finger foods, like, at my birthday parties, and I begged my mom, can you get that, like, sourdough bread that I love? And she would cut out the middle of the bread, and then she would pour the ranch in the middle of the loaf of bread, and then you could pick off the bits of bread and dip it in ranch. And if you guys have never had that, it's so good. But you have to get a certain type of bread. It has to get that, like, sourdough whatever. It's like that ranchy sour kind of dough bread, and then you dip it in ranch. That shit is like one of my best finger foods, you know? But so I already knew going in. I was like, Randall, I know they'll probably think it's cringe. And I'm like, but I'll be honest. After it was done, I was like, Randall, I said, I thought they would never let that shit go. I said, I got a tiny bit of trolling, but I said, not as much as I thought. I said, I thought they would never let it die. And even Randall was surprised. He was like, Fears? He goes, probably because they thought you would never fucking do it. Like, I remember Pixel came into the stream. Or Pixel came into the, it wasn't a stream. Pixel came into the video because I did a premiere of it. And the whole time, Pixel was writing LOL. So people were laughing their fucking asses off. Hell, I was laughing too. Like, in the middle of the video, remember Visions? I was like, I literally said, I can't fucking believe I'm doing this. I couldn't believe that I was doing it. And I'm the one that fucking did it, you know? So there it is. Good times. But, I don't know why Richie would be scared. I mean, Richie's been a pal and a fan of mine since I joined the community way back in 2000. Whatever. When did I join Pixel? Like 2015, 2016? I've known Pixel and Richie probably the longest. And they've been friends and fans of mine for the longest time. You know what I'm saying? So, there it is. There it is. Triple said, well, Fears, maybe she was a witch. Fears, she was poisoning you with her cider. Yeah, right, whatever. Whatever, Triple. You're making me fucking lose it. She wasn't a witch. Vision says, well, yeah, that was a lot of fun. Oh, it was fun, but I knew going in, Visions, I'm like, what if everybody thinks this is cringe? And I was a little scared because Randall had a good point. I was like, what if they troll me into the end of the earth? And I'll be honest, I think it was like maybe a week of trolling, and then all of a sudden, nothing. I was like, wow, all right. I'm like, normally, they go on with years and years and years and years and years of fucking trolling. And I was like, I was shocked. I was like, all right, a week of trolling, that's not that bad. So, yeah. There it is. I did, Joy Boy. I did apologize to Pretend. Me and I'll be honest, I didn't tell you guys about this. Me and Pretend Stories got into an argument, and I was a little mad, and I said some things I shouldn't have. But I did. I wrote him and I apologized. So hopefully he'll accept my apology. I did apologize to him. I did. I'm not bullshitting you. I did write him, and I just said I wasn't having a good day, man. I lost my temper. I said some things I shouldn't have, and I apologize. So I did. I'm not even bullshitting you. Pretend will tell you. I wrote him. And I did apologize. So, and then it sucks. I don't know what happened, but a few days later, I guess he got sick or something. He didn't message me. He didn't tell me what he got sick of or what happened, but I heard that he had to go to the hospital or something. And then I wrote him and said, hey man, I hope you feel better. You know, rest up. So I don't really know what happened, but I hope he feels better. I really hope he feels better. I really do. Because I've been in the hospital before, and I've been sick before, and it sucks when you're sick. Whatever it is. Like, I was in the hospital for 14 days, and that shit fucking sucked. And I hate hospital food. Ugh. They always, like, I don't know why, they steam everything. Because I remember when I was in the hospital, they would always bring my food, and they, you know, like the little tray thing that they have it under? They went like that and pulled off the fucking tray thing, and then a bunch of steam popped up. And I'm like, I ordered a bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich. I'm like, you don't have to fucking steam that. You just make a sandwich. And they're like, oh yeah, we steam everything. And I'm like, that was the first time I was like, you don't have to steam a sandwich. So that was kind of fucking weird. And then I was like, I get if you have to steam like a baked potato or a steak or something. They're like, sometimes it takes us a long time to like deliver the food to each room. I said, yeah, I get that, but I'm like, it's a sandwich. You don't have to steam a sandwich. But I was probably the best guest in the hospital they had because I didn't really complain. I just told them, you don't really have to steam a sandwich, but I'm like, do whatever you got to do, you know? Plus, hospital food sucks anyway. I was like, that's why I gave my dad a lot of credit. I'd be like, oh. Like, when I went to go visit my dad, I was like, Dad, I don't know how you can eat this stuff. And he's like, some things are better than others. And I was like, this pudding sucks, you know? And he's like, again. And then my dad would be like, again, some things are better than others. Again, The food was decent when I was in the hospital. Like, I really enjoyed their little it was like this ice shaving, and they had like strawberry flavored in it. That shit was pretty good. That shit was good. Their breakfasts were good. Their breakfast items were really good. And when I asked them to not steam my bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich, then it was good. When they steamed it, it was god awful, you know. But after they stopped steaming my food, then it became good. Anytime they steamed it, for God knows reason why, I'd be like, I was nice about it, but I was like, you don't have to steam all my food. I'm like, can you stop steaming my food? And they said, oh yeah, they said some people like it that way. I'm like, I don't. Can you stop it? And they were like, yeah, sure. And I was like, great. I appreciate that. So yeah. Well, I hope he feels better. Joy Boy, I really do. Hope he feels better. Pixel, I hope you have a good time on the epic Vegas trip. If you guys didn't see, I know you uploaded a couple of videos from your Vegas trip last time. Didn't Tinder Immortal? She went with you, right? Pixel, it was you and a bunch of guys and your girlfriend Tinder Immortal, and that's when you showed me the video of you doing the scorpion drink. So it sounds like a good time, buddy. And then you went to all those crazy tourist attractions down there. Fears has been to Vegas before. Once with my family, and then once with my buddy Eric, back in the college days. And we went nuts. So it's been a long time since Fears went to Vegas, but at some point, Fears would love to go back to Vegas and do a Vegas vlog or a Vegas trip. At some point. Anytime I went to Vegas, though, I made big money. When I went with my family, I couldn't gamble at that time because I was too young, but my dad was like, let's go for it. And my mom and dad, they're not big gamblers. Like, we went and did more tourist attractions because we stopped in Vegas just for a short trip because we were on our way somewhere else. My dad's like, hey, let's stop and stay for a few days. And I remember me, my mom, my brother, we stopped in Vegas, and I think we were there for like 3 days. And we saw a bunch of shows, and the buffets down there are fan-friggin-tastic. So we went to a bunch of buffets, and we went to a bunch of like shows. And when Neil Diamond was super big back in the 90s, I don't know if he's super big now, but he was super big in the 80s and 90s. I remember me, my mom, and my dad, and my brother, we went and saw Neil Diamond, and that was fucking cool. He's a good singer, and he's done a bunch of cameos. Hell, he's even been in a James Bond film. That's pretty fucking cool, you know? And he played a villain. He played a villain in James Bond. I can't remember which James Bond he was in, but he played like he was pretending to be like a preacher, but he was like taking all the money, like all the donations, and he took his portion of the money. He kept some of the money, and then I think that James Bond, like the villains, they were into like this big epic like fucking drug empire or something, some shit like that, some shit. And he was like just pretending to be like this fake preacher, like, oh yeah, you know, praise God, praise Lord the Jesus, like we need your donations. And then he would like sucker them to like give the money, and then he would take the money and like fund the drug, something like that. You guys know what I'm talking about. It's one of those fucking James Bond movies, and he plays like some evil fucking like preacher, like henchman or some shit. And then like the drug lords were like, oh yeah, thanks for all the donations, you know, da 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 da. So yeah. But one of these days, Fears would love to go back to Vegas. So my dad hit it big, though. Like I remember the last day before we moved on. I think that trip was when me, my dad, my brother, my mom, we were on our way to California, but we stopped at a bunch of places along the way, kind of like how the Griswolds did it, you know. Except we didn't drive, we flew. Because my dad had a really good job, and he's like, well, I need to use my frequent flyer miles, so, you know, let's get a moseying. I remember we stopped in Colorado, we stopped in Vegas, I think we stopped in Oregon, and then we spent like a week or two in California, and we did all the Hollywood shit, and then we went up to Lake Tahoe, and that was the first time that we that I rode a jet ski, and me and my dad were on the jet ski, and that was really cool. And we had like a big hotel or a big like room or something like on the Lake Tahoe. That was pretty cool. But my dad hit it big. Like we were about to leave Vegas, and he's like, what the hell? And he went over and he just threw a slot machine. And my dad won like $300-400 off it. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool, Dad. Because I was too young at the time to gamble. But then when me and Eric went, we gambled pretty much all weekend. And I remember we got there on a Friday. And then we stayed at the Luxor Casino. And we went and saw the Chris Angel Mind Freak show when he was like fucking epic. I don't know if he's epic now, but he was epic back in whenever me and Eric went. And we saw the show on Saturday night, and then we partied all Sunday, and we went to the pool and like hit on chicks, and then me and Eric went and worked out they had a massive like gym there, and then we went to the buffet, and then we went out to some of the Vegas shops, and we shopped at a bunch of like stores, and I bought like 3 or 4 hats. Then they had like some big fucking pizza. We got massive like slice of pizza that were like that fucking long and shit. And then we went clubbing. Hilarious. We went clubbing. Because Eric was like, Fears, man, let's hit on some chicks, man. And I was like, yeah, just like that? And he's like, yeah, let's get some chicks. And I was like, Eric, I'm like, look, man, I'm like, we're not going to hit on any chicks. I'm like, dude, we're from Missouri, man. And he's like, yeah, Fears, like this would be the time. Like, we're partying, we're getting drunk in Vegas. Let's go fucking epic. And I was like, all right, whatever, man. And so we went to the club and in the Luxor, and we were hitting on chicks. And I did get a few dances from some ladies. And I don't know what the fuck Eric was doing. He was going nuts. We were getting drunk. We were going ballistic. But whenever I hang out with Eric, I'll be like, hey, do you remember what we were doing? I remember dancing with some chicks. Probably Eric was dancing with chicks too, but yeah. Well, the last day, I remember I hit it big. Eric won like $300 or $400, and I hit I didn't win much on Friday and Saturday. On Sunday, when we left to go back to, because I was still going to film school out in Arizona, we stayed Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then we left Monday. And we got back, and we drove there. So we got back like Monday night, like really late, around 8 or 9. On Sunday, though, I hit it big. Eric hit like, I think he won like $300-400 if memory serves him right. I hit it big, but not as big as Eric. I hit $250. So that was not too bad. Not too bad. So yeah. So it was fun though. It was a fun trip. So gotta go back to Vegas one of these days. Pixel says, take the money and fund the drugs. Sounds like me every time I buy an ounce. Well, I've never done drugs, Pixel. I'm talking about Neil Diamond played like this like preacher, like drug lord henchman in one of the James Bond films, which is so unlike him. That's what made it cool. I was like, oh shit, he's playing a villain and a henchman. I was like, damn, because he's usually a nice guy, and he's like a singer and stuff. And I've never seen Neil Diamond play like a bad guy. So I was like, oh, this is fucking nuts. I'm like, he's playing a henchman. I'm like, oh shit. Pixel says, I think the Luxor is where we are staying in May. Well, Pixel, from what I remember, the rooms were super nice, and they had a massive buffet. It's probably still there. I remember on the ground floor of the Luxor, I'm sure not much has changed, because we went in 2010, like my senior year. That's when me and Pixel went. I mean, that's when me and Eric went. And I remember, Pixel, you parked your car, and then you went through like these sliding glass doors. And if memory serves right, on the left, they had the big gym there, and then they had a massive outdoor pool. I mean, it was fucking huge. And me and Eric went and they had like 2 or 3 hot tubs, and then the pool. Then next to it was the fucking workout facility. And then off to the right is like where you check in, Pixel. And then I don't know if I mean, on the top level, on the very tip top, that's where Chris Angel, he had a massive apartment at the very tip top of the pyramid. I don't know if he still lives there. And I don't know, and that's where he did his show back in the day. I don't know if he still does his show there, but back in the day, that's where he had his Chris Angel Mind Freak show, and he had his own personal apartment. He said, I live in the very tip top, because he did a meet and greet after the show, and me and Eric, I have a picture of me, Eric, and Chris Angel somewhere. He was charging too much for an autograph, but I got a photo with him. and it's somewhere in one of my scrap albums in Missouri. And I think Eric got a picture or something like that. And I said, because I didn't know he stayed there. He goes, oh yeah. He goes, they pay me to do my show. He goes, they built a theater in there for my magic show. And I was like, oh, that's pretty fucking cool. And he goes, yeah. He goes, I was living in a house, but I sold it, and I have a massive fucking apartment at the very tip top of the pyramid. So I don't know if he still lives in that or if he owns a house now or whatever, but that's what he was doing back in like 2010. And so Pixel, if he still does his show there, check out his magic show, man. That shit was pretty cool. And then I don't know where the buffet was. I know it was on the ground level. And so if you guys are staying there in May, check out that buffet, man. I'm sure it's still there in the Luxor. Probably not much has changed from then till now. I'm sure a few things have changed, but probably not much. But I remember that buffet was probably the best buffet I've ever went to in Vegas. Because whenever me and my family went, we went to some pretty good buffets. But I remember telling Eric, I said, Eric, this buffet is fucking huge. He went, oh yeah, Fierce, this buffet is going nuts. They had everything there. Anything that you could think of to eat, they had there. I mean, it was huge, buddy. So you and your friends are going to have a good time, Pixel. Trust me, buddy. Trust me. No, I'm good, Pixel. Pixel says, you know what? Fears needs a nice shroom trip. No, I'm good. Just drugs aren't my thing, man. Drugs aren't my thing. I don't mind boozing it up. Fears likes the booze. But just drugs are not my thing. I'm good. But I don't judge people. Like, Pixel, I know he does, I don't know what he does, but I've heard Pixel doing a few things. I remember Pixel said, Fears, I've done acid, I've done this, and I was like, well, buddy, I'm like, I care about you, you're my friend, and I love you like a brother. I'm like, I wish you wouldn't do drugs, but I'm like, if that's your thing, God be with you. I don't judge people. If they want to do that, that's their own life. I wish Pixel wouldn't do it, because I worry about Pixel, because he is a friend. And I wish you wouldn't do drugs, buddy, but, Pixel's going to do whatever he wants to do, So, I don't judge anyone, but that's just not my bag. That's not my thing. It's not my thing. All right, time to get to the reviews. I forgot to do these reviews whenever I watch them. So, I found both of these at Goodwill. Oh, no, wait, no. I found this one at Goodwill and this one at Walmart. I bought this. Pixel kind of reminds me of Danny McBride. Pixel's got like that dark humor and that sarcastic humor. So does Daniel McBride. This was fucking hilarious. Even though I'm not into drugs, they're doing drugs all through this movie. And it's basically, it kind of reminded me of Bill and Ted, but like in the 15th and 16th century in England. That's what it kind of reminded me of. And, I mean, who doesn't like Natalie Portman? She is a hot, sexy babe. Oh, Lord. Natalie Portman. Why can't Fears find a Natalie Portman? That'd be nice. I wouldn't mind dating a Natalie Portman. She's sexy for a princess. She plays a princess in this. And then James Franco, he's fucking hilarious, And James Franco always teams up either with Seth Rogen, and Seth Rogen kind of reminds me of Pixel too, because Pixel's hilarious, Seth Rogen's hilarious. Seth Rogen is tall, like he's like what 6'3" or something, and Pixel's like 6'5", so it's good. That's what I'm saying. When I hang out with Pixel, it's gonna be fucking hilarious because we all know Fierce is a short motherfucker. I am short. 5'6", right on. Hey, Pixel, throw me a beer. Oh, okay, here you go, Fears. Shunk. Thanks, buddy. That's how it's gonna be. I'm telling you. The only time Pixel and me will be at the same height is when we're sitting down on the couch. You know what I'm saying? Now, nothing against Pixel. Just God blessed Pixel with height, and God decided to fuck over Fears when it came over to height. He's like, yeah, hey, Fears, guess what? I love you, buddy, but I'm just gonna make you a short motherfucker. I'm like, oh yeah, thanks, awesome, God, cheers, thanks for that. But that's just how God made me. There it is. I'm telling you though, 6'5" is pretty tall. You know what I'm saying? So Pixel, it's gonna be hilarious when we hang out. Yo, what's going on? Can you hear me, buddy? I hear you, Fears. Way down there, down the fucking at the edge of the mountain. It's gonna be hilarious. It's gonna be funny. But I cannot wait. But Pixel is like a brother to me. So just like Visions. So buddy, I cannot wait to hang out. It's gonna be fucking epic. Just keep the shrooms and the acid and all that crap away from me. Same thing with Visions. Keep the coffins away from me. I'm not judging you guys. Just I'm not. I'll lay in the coffin once for the vlog because I'll be like, Visions has got that dark humor just like Randy and Pixel. What if he was like jerking my chain this whole time? Like I get to Vision's house next year and he's like, "Hey, Fears, guess what? Yeah, I was just joking. I don't sleep in a coffin." But if he does, then I gotta get it on video. I've already told Vision, I'm like, Visions, if you actually have that coffin in your house, buddy, like a fucking vampire in the night, like down in the basement or some shit, I'm like, I just gotta lay in it once just for the fucking, vlog. I'm like, well, guys, he was telling the truth, in the fucking coffin and shit. So there it is. So we'll find out. We'll find out in a year. So there it is. So Visions. But Visions sounds pretty, Visions I don't think has ever lied to me. So I don't think he's lying about it. Unless Visions Visions, if you got a photo of it, send me a photo of it, But I don't think he's lying about it. I don't think he's lying. Well, not lying. I don't think he's telling a tall tale. I think Visions actually sleeps in it, but we'll find out. We'll find out in a year. And then we'll find out, whenever I hang out with Pixel, we'll find out just how tall he is. Because I've seen pictures of Pixel. He's a pretty tall guy. So there it is. So yeah, Joyboy says, brother, you need to go outside and find that ass. Listen, it's not for a lack of trying. I have been trying to find it. I have. But, Joyboy, you guys should know this by now. Fears is a gentleman. I've never hit a girl. I've argued with a girl, but I've never hit a girl, and I never will hit a girl. I'm a gentleman. Any girl that I've went out with, I don't consider it just another piece of ass. When I choose to date someone, I'm in 100%. Whenever I dated Casey, I was totally in love with her, But it didn't work out, so I was like, all right, well, I wish you the best. I really wish it would have worked out. I really do. She's a very nice person. I wish her the best of luck. I've heard rumors. I guess she's not with that guy anymore. I don't know who did the dumping. I just heard through the grapevines. I don't even know if it's true. If she is not with that guy, then, maybe it's the best thing for her. Maybe she needs to, work on herself but if she was truly happy with that guy, I wish her luck. But I haven't heard from her in a long while, but I wish her the best. I really do. I really do. I wish her the best of luck, and if she ever does contact me again, I'll be like, hello, how you been, And I definitely would apologize to her and say, hey, I shouldn't have said all that mean shit about you online. I should have just kept that shit to myself, because that's why I haven't heard from her in a long time, because I was really upset, and I said a whole bunch of shit that I shouldn't have. I should have just kept it to myself, So, yeah. But I'm sure I'll find somebody, It's only a matter of time. Exactly, heroes. Shorties are everywhere. I see a shorty every day in Florida. Everywhere you go, gas stations, like Joyboy said, anytime I went to one of the parks, there's shorties everywhere. There was a couple of shorties at Super Retro Con. But I'll be honest, there was not many shorties there alone. There was always some, their bubble butt boyfriend there. And I'm like, oh, well, I can't go up to that girl because, she's got her man with him, So, almost every girl that I saw, you'll see it in the vlog. There was a few girls by themselves, but not many. There was a bunch of, guys there. Then there was, Jeff's friends, Jeff's employees there. And then there was, families with a whole bunch of kids were there, because families, they bring their kids. And then there was shorties there. But like I said, almost every shorty, they had their arm, around, their man. And I'm just every time I went up to try to talk to one girl, I'm like, oh, well, I can't because, she's with some guy, So, like I said, there's a lot of shorties out there, And like I said, I was telling this to Sam, because Sam even asked that, Joy, but he's like, hey, Fears, have you ever tried to, hook up with some chick, from a convention? I was like, tons of times. But sometimes it's a hit or miss with the convention. Sometimes there's a bunch of chicks there, just doing the cosplay shit. And I said sometimes they're they're a nerd couple. They're like, hey, you want to come to a convention with me? Yeah, sure, and then they'll come, and I'm like, oh well, I like, because I'm a nice guy. I'm like, I don't want to break up their 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 thing. So Joy Boy, it's not for a lack of trying. Fears is really trying to find a girl. I really am. I really am. So yeah. So we'll see. We shall see. Anyway, back to the reviews. I keep getting distracted. I'm trying to be better. I'm trying to, like a lot of people have said, Fears, you don't keep up with the comments. I've been trying to keep up with the comments, but then I try to talk about what I want to talk about too. So it's a balancing act. So I would rate this. This was fucking hilarious. It's like half medieval time shit, because medieval times was in the 15th, 16th century. But then it's like, and there's a lot of bonus features on this. And when I was watching the bonus feature, Danny McBride said, we're not making fun of British people. We're making fun of every action adventure movie that's been set in the medieval time era. He goes, I've watched so many like Robin Hood movies. I've watched so many like, he goes, it's a mixture of like all the medieval action movies with a little bit of Robin Hood Men in Tights. And so I was like, okay, I see that. Plus, I'm half British, so I got all the phrases, and I've watched all those Robin Hood movies. And basically, Danny McBride plays like this, like lazy fat apprentice, and James Franco plays his brother. So he's the prince, and he's his like fat lazy brother, and James Franco, he's like the ultimate like prince, like. He goes off on all these like missions, and he's like, I just decapitated like the head of a dragon, and then like Danny McBride's character's like, yeah, big fucking whoop, yeah, we all know you're the fucking prince, you're the fucking prince, you're the man, and then James Franco's character's like, well, brother, why don't you come with me on these adventures, and you'll be a big, instead of apprentice, we'll be brothers. We'll be the biggest brothers, big fucking princes of all the land. And his character is just content, just smoking, just being fat and lazy, and just like trying to hook up with all the peasant girls, the evil. Not evil. All the wenches, all the peasant ladies. That's all he's content with. And then all of a sudden, like the king forces him to go with his brother on this epic adventure, and then he learns in the end to back his brother, and then he gets to hook up with Natalie Portman. So in the end, he gets the fairest princess of all the land, while he's smoking and dodging like fucking arrows and shit, and he's like drunk and high off his mind, pretty much all through it. And then they take down some crazy villains. So I definitely would rate it a good 8.5. It's not a 9, it's not a 10. But it was pretty funny. Pretty funny. That's what I would give it. If you like Danny McBride in that movie, you should see the old show Eastbound and Down. I've heard about it, Pixel. I've heard about it. I've never seen it, but I've heard about it. And the thing about Danny McBride, he's a fan too. Like he backed, all those new Halloween movies. He's one of the co-writers of all of them, of all the new Halloweens. He's like. And he's even said it in the behind-the-scenes footage, Pixel, and everybody else watching. He's been like, it's cool that I got to write it, like write a Halloween movie, but, like, I'm a fan, too, of Halloween. Like what if all the sequels never happened, and we just wrote a new sequel that took place right after the fucking first Halloween? And he goes, because he even said in the behind-the-scenes footage, he goes, Halloween 2, it's cool. He goes, but once they made Halloween 3, I was fucking lost, and then he comes, like, Michael Myers comes back in the fourth one, the fifth one, and they just got more shittier as they went. He goes, but Halloween 1 and 2, he goes, those are my two faves. And he goes, we just wrote a brand new sequel. Like, what if Halloween 2 never existed and all those other fucking crappy sequels didn't exist, and we just made ours. So, like, their point of view, it goes Halloween, the 1978 version. Then it goes Halloween, the 2018 movie. Then it's their second Halloween, and then the latest one, Halloween Ends. And all those, I'm not gonna lie, all those are great. Halloween Ends was all right. It was kind of weak sauce, but the two new Halloweens I definitely love. The kills in there were fucking epic. There was some cool kills in Halloween Ends, but like Michael Myers' apprentice or whatever in the fucking Halloweens, that was just I was just like, dude, do we really need an apprentice of Michael Myers? Why can't we just have Michael Myers kill some motherfuckers just like always? Now Randall is the reverse. Randall is not like Pixel and me. Randall hates Michael Myers. Like he even did like a hate stream on Michael Myers, and I was like, that's cool, Randall. I'm like, if you don't like Michael Myers, to each their own. Not everyone's gonna like what everybody else likes. You know, that's why we're individuals. You know, like Joy Boy likes this. Fears may not like that. You know, Fears likes what he likes. You know. So there it is. Let's see. But I will definitely check it out, Pixel. I've heard about Eastbound and Down, but I've never seen the show, but I've heard about it. But Danny McBride, he's a really funny actor. And when I watched all the behind the scenes, he goes, I never intended to be an actor. He goes, the guy that directed this is like a friend of Danny McBride's, and I guess they went to film school. And Danny McBride was like, I always just wanted to write. He goes, I love to write. He goes, and then he goes, in one of my friend's like film school videos, he said, hey, I need an actor. Can you just fucking act in this? And then Danny McBride said, well, you know what? Like for my like senior, film project, he goes, I asked my director friend, I'm like, dude, would you run through this scene naked for my short film? And the guy did. And they show like a clip of their old fucking like short film on this bonus feature. And you see the director that directed this run through Danny McBride's short film. Why he's naked, I don't know, but I've never seen Danny McBride's short film. But in one scene, they showed the clip of the director run through Danny McBride's short film, and he's butt-ass naked. And so you see everything, and I'm like, all right, whoa, too much information. So then I'm watching this, Pixel, and he said, so whenever I was thinking of like an actor, I was like, yo, like I've got a great idea for you. So Danny McBride never intended to be an actor, but thank God his director friend forced him into doing it because he's a great fucking actor and he's a great fucking writer. Because him writing all those Halloween things, he's a good writer and he's a good actor. I like his dark and funny humor. It really reminds me like of Bill and Ted, like his humor, like kind of that go with the flow, funny, kind of dopey kind of humor, like, and it's kind of slapstick too. And when he makes fun of someone, in a film, he goes nuts. It's just not like, hey, fuck you, you're an asshole. He like Dan McBride destroys someone when he calls someone like a hateful word or a hateful name. Like when they're in that movie, This Is the End, him and James Franco go back and forth like, fuck you, you son of a bitch, you fucking asshole. Like they just they just rip on each other hardcore. And that shit is hysterical. So yeah. So Pixel, I definitely will check it out. Let's see. Pixel says, Deep Roy, the midget in the Mexico season, is at the con. This Joy Boy, he used to crack me up. I've never heard of that guy. Oh, that's bullshit, Pixel. I am not 4'4". I'm a lot taller than 4'4". He says, so not far off from Fears. That's bullshit. I'm not 4'4". I'm about 5'6". Almost 5'6". I'm not 5'6", but I'm almost 5'6". Granted, I know I'm a short motherfucker, but I'm not that short. No. So yeah, I would give this and I must have missed this because they filmed this movie back in, when did they make this movie? They filmed this back in 2010. I had never heard of this movie until I found it at Goodwill. I was just kind of like looking through, because sometimes, like, that's like whenever I do those Goodwill hauls, they've got some good stuff at Goodwill. So I'll be like going through and I'll be like, all right. And they have a DVD and a Blu-ray section at Goodwill. And so I just go, it's like, it's not in Claremont in Orlando. It's like the next town over. It's like in Kissimmee. And I'll drive out there like on a Saturday or after church sometimes. I'll go in sometimes they've got some good picks like that. Other times you go and it's like it's kind of the pick of the litter. Like sometimes we're like, oh yeah, sorry Fears, like we haven't got any new Blu-rays in from last weekend. So I try to go, if not every weekend, and see what Blu-rays I can find. But I haven't went in about 3 weeks. So I think either Saturday afternoon or maybe after I get some lunch after church, I may before I go into work on Sunday night. After lunch, I think I may go check out and see if they got any cool new Blu-rays. So I'll let you guys know what I find. But this is one of the finds. So I missed this when they filmed this in 2010. So when I was looking through, I was like, what the hell is Your Highness? I grab it off the shelf, Pixel. And the minute I see these two guys, I'm like, oh God, I love when these two guys team up. Because anytime these two guys team up, or like when Danny McBride teams up with like Seth Rogen, I know it's going to be fucking hilarious. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh shit, they got sexy Natalie Portman in it. I'm like, all right. I'm like, and they only charge. Sometimes they switch their prices at Goodwill. Sometimes it's like $2 per a Blu-ray. Sometimes it's $1. It depends on how many they get. But I always see them flip-flop. So I got this for, well, with tax, it was $1.50. So I was like, all right. This Blu-ray would usually cost at Walmart $20. Anytime I buy, like when I bought this new at Walmart, with tax, it was like $22.50 or some shit like that. So if I can find it online cheaper, I buy it online cheaper, like on eBay or Amazon or whatever. Or if I can find it at a Goodwill. And so I tried to find this at Goodwill, couldn't find it, and I love superhero movies. And I didn't know much about Crypto. I knew he was like Superman's like pet, but I was like, you know what? Even though it's a cartoon, I'm like, I'm gonna get it and see what it's all about. It's actually, for a cartoon movie, it's actually pretty good because you find all about Crypto. And plus, I'm a big fan of Dwayne The Rock Johnson, and Dwayne The Rock Johnson voiced Crypto. And then I can't remember who voiced Superman, but they have the whole Justice League in there. So I found this for $1, and as soon as I saw the title, I was like, oh God, I'm like, I know there's gonna be some drugs in it, and there's a lot of drugs. They're smoking, they're going ballistic, and there's some nasty humor in this. They have there's a scene like where an evil witch tries to suck off like Danny McBride. So it's nuts. It's not your typical like action hero adventure in the middle, in the medieval times. It's a parody off of, they literally say it. They're like, we took aspects of Robin Hood Men in Tights, because I guess Danny McBride loves that movie. And I'm like, look, I love Robin Hood Men in Tights. I love any Mel Brooks movie. That guy is a genius. Spaceballs. Hey, Mel Brooks, you need to make Spaceballs Part 2. Because me and Randy, we love some Spaceballs. That is fucking hilarious. May the Schwartz be with you, motherfuckers. It is a funny movie. So, I know like Mel Brooks, he's like super old. I think he's like 92. Please, I don't want you to die, but listen, before you die, make some more movies, Mel Brooks. Please. Your movies are fucking genius. And they're hilarious. So, he even says in the film, he's like, oh yeah, we took a little bit of like every action adventure medieval movie that you've ever seen in your entire life and mixed it with some Robin Hood Men in Tights, he goes, plus some nasty, nasty, nasty humor. And he goes, that's what Your Highness is about. And I watched it and I was losing my shit. I was laughing hysterically. So this was a good find. Like I said, wasn't a perfect 10 because nothing's a perfect 10, but definitely a good 8.5. Now, Superpets for a cartoon movie, it's pretty good. I found out a lot about Crypto that I didn't even know. And you guys know how big of a fan Fears Man is for Superman. It's the inspiration for Fears Man. Me and Randall just did a massive fucking parody about Superman. So instead of the Fortress of Solitude, the fucking Cave of Fear and shit, So, like, Randy's like, Fears, at some point we should take, like, Enzo. And I was like, oh yeah, I said Enzo will be Fears Man's like Crypto. And he's like, that's what I was thinking. I was like, we got to get Enzo in there at some point. By the way, I haven't told you guys, Enzo, my mom sent me a picture of him like 4 weeks ago. He was being naughty. Remember I told you guys? My mom goes out there to feed him. Enzo just tore the shit out of his bed. And my mom got him this really nice like bed to put in Enzo's cage. And he just tore the shit out of it. My mom was like, oh, bad Enzo. So my mom sent him a photo, and I think I Instagrammed it, and I put like bad Enzo. So my mom had to buy him a whole new bed. But besides that, Enzo's doing good. I can't wait to hang out with Enzo. He's my buddy. He's my pal. Anytime I'm in town, me and him always go on a lot of walks. I take a Frisbee. That's one of his favorite toys, and I play with him in the yard. So I can't wait to see Enzo. Joy Boy says, Fears, I'm not going to lie, you need a real nasty girl. Oh, shit. That'd be cool. That'd be cool. Right on. I mean, but how nasty are we talking about, though? You know? I don't mind, though. That'd be cool. Just nothing like too crazy, Joy Boy. The craziest thing Fears has ever done. I remember some girl I was with, like, back in the day. She's like, Fears, shut your eyes. And I was like, right on. And we were getting pretty hot and heavy. I don't know why she decided to do this. It hurt like a bitch. She, like, before I closed my eyes, I saw her lighting some candles. I think I've told you guys this story. And I was like, oh, this is cool. I'm like, we're going to have sex, like, in candlelight. We're going to be making out. We're going to be going fucking ballistic. And this bitch pours hot fucking candle wax on my fucking chest. And I'm like, shit, what the fuck are you doing? And she's like, well, she goes, I really wanted to get, like, nasty and stuff. I was like, what, burning the shit out of my fucking chest? I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm really good. That hurt. I remember I was peeling the wax off my fucking nipple and shit. And I'm not even trying to make you guys laugh. This is dead serious. And she's like, I thought you wanted, like, I was like, yeah, I wanted to go crazy. I wanted to go nuts. But I'm like, I didn't want to, like, get hurt in the process. That shit was insane. Oh, man. It was crazy. I was like, yeah, I don't really want to get burned alive. I'm good. So that's the most probably craziest thing I've done, Joey. I'm pretty normal when it comes to, like, sex and stuff. Like, I just like having normal sex with a girl. Like, I remember, like, Pixel and Visions tell me about, I don't know what the fuck they were on about the fucking GIMP shit. I looked it up and I was like, who the fuck would want to go through all that crap? Not me. I'm good. I'm good on that. That's just too crazy for Fears. It was just nuts. Like wearing masks and shit, and like having a collar around, and like walking them around like a dog. I'm just like, there's some weird shit out there. Weird fucking people. Not that Pixel and Visions, they're not weird people, but the GIMP shit, that's just weird. I don't know. To me, that's just not my cup of tea. But yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I could keep up with all that crazy crap. Pixel says the guy that directed it is the same guy that did the newer Halloween. Yeah, that's the friend. That's the friend I was talking about, Pixel. So the director of the new Halloween ones, that's the guy that ran through Danny McBride's short film Butt Ass Naked. And then he was like, well, hey, I did you that favor. You got to be in my short film. And then I guess like after film school, he's like, well, hey, how about I direct and you write? And then he was like, Danny, you were funny in my short film. Like, you should be an actor too. And Dan, I remember in the behind the scenes, like Danny's like, I never had any intention ever of being an actor. He goes, I just did it like as a favor to my friend. He goes, but then I did a few more acting gigs, and then he goes, then I kind of got into it and was like, hey, you know what? This fucking acting thing is actually pretty cool. But he said, if I never would have done that gig, and that favor for my friend, he goes, I probably would have just been content just writing scripts and just being a producer and just being like a movie writer. He goes, and I would have been content with that. He goes, because Danny said on camera, I love to write. And it shows that he's a good writer because all those Halloween movies are fucking great. I'm like, dude, like this is like a side of Michael Myers. Like, Pixel, I don't know, maybe you'll agree with me on this. I think in these new Halloween movies, maybe it's just me, Michael Myers is way more hardcore in these newer movies. Even though like he's like an old Michael Myers, like he's like 60 or something, the kills are just more violent, more like in your face, more like, I don't know what, I mean, it like, not that they weren't back in the old sequels, they're just way, way more fucking brutal in these new versions of Halloween. And it shows in his writing, because I enjoyed all three of those. I will say this, though. The third one with the apprentice of Michael Myers, oh, I want to be the new Michael Myers, that I really wasn't into. I'm like, look, Michael Myers is fucking cool on his own. Just let him do his kills. Excuse me, I keep burping. On his own. You don't need to be an apprentice. But the first two Halloween ones, they're really fucking good. And then the cameo of fucking Dr. Sam Loomis. They hired some guy that literally looks like the original actor. I mean, it was, and I thought at first they like digitally put him in. I was like, oh, they probably got like some lookalike guy and then digitally put the old actor's face on that guy. No, they got some guy that looked like the actor that played Sam Loomis. I mean, it was spot on. So, yeah. So, yep. Have you been to Medieval Times for dinner? I have, Joy Boy. Back in the day when my buddy Eric used to work at Disney, and he lived down here for like 12 years. And the reason why Eric moved back, he goes, Fears, I just started to, he goes, Disney started to get old to me. He goes, and, I started missing like you and all my friends and family back in Missouri. And he just said, I'm done. But before Eric moved back, I came to visit him a couple times. Eric's planning to come visit me. Now that he's married, he's got a lot of, he's got to take care of the wife and stuff. Plus, I'm really good friends with Eric's wife. We've been friends since high school. She's a really nice girl. So Eric really lucked out. So they both want to come visit me. And I said, you guys, mi casa, su casa. And they said, Fears, we're just busy with both our jobs. And I said, I know. I said, whenever you guys can make it down. So Eric said he's going to try this year or next year at some point to come visit me. But whenever I came to visit Eric, this is way back in the day, Joy Boy. We went to Medieval Times before I think I went to film school. Because I went to film school between 2007 and 2010. So I think it was like 2005, 2006, I came to visit him like 2 years in a row. Because I graduated high school in 2003. But I didn't go to college until 2007. I just didn't know what I wanted to do. So I took my mom and dad's advice, and they said, why don't you just work for a while, figure out what you want to do in college, and then go. And I said, all right, I'll do that. So in between me trying to figure out that I wanted to go to film school, Eric was like, hey, Fears, like, you want to come down? And I remember we went to all the parks, because Eric got, free passes for me because he worked at Disney. And I was like, oh, this will be fun. He's like, yeah, Fears. He goes, I work there. So he said, whenever I'm not working, he goes, we can just go buck wild at the parks. And I remember one day, I just kept begging him, like, Eric, because Eric didn't want to go to Medieval Times. He's like, Fears. He's like, the parks are way better. But I had always wanted to go to Medieval Times. And one of them, he goes, Fears, you've been nagging me for 2 years now. He goes, come down for your birthday. And he goes, I got a surprise for you. So I came down one time, and he's like, Fears, he's like, I'm finally granting your request. And I was like, Medieval Times? And I was a big kid in He goes, yeah, he goes, Fears, let's get it fucking over with. I don't know what Eric had against Medieval Times. I think it's fucking great, but he just really didn't want to go. And he goes, Fears, I'm going for you. And I was like, all right. But it was me, Eric, and then Eric's lady, and we all went. And I wish I would have vlogged it because I was going nuts. I was like, screw the red team, because we were in the blue section, Joy. But I'm like, screw the red team. Fuck you. I'm like, go nuts, go fucking blue team. And guess what? The blue team won. Way back in the day. And I was making Eric laugh. Eric is losing his shit. He's in the stands laughing over me going fucking ballistic. And, but I never vlogged it. We just went for my birthday. I took a couple pictures. And I took a picture with this medieval guy with his beard. His beard was like flowing. Like it was all the way down to here. And Eric's like, Fears, you got to go take a picture with that fucking hilarious medieval time guy. And I was like, oh, I said I will. So I got a picture with the hilarious, like, bearded guy that made me and Eric fucking lose our minds, and we were laughing over him. And then I got a picture of me and Eric with the Medieval Times hat. They're somewhere on my Facebook and I think on my Instagram, but maybe at one time, Fears will go back and we'll do a vlog there. Or like when my birthday comes up, when I get back from the Orlando trip, I was like, hey, Sam, you, me, Medieval Times, buddy. What do you think? So I'll mention it to Sam, Joy Boy, and if Sam's If Sam is all about doing medieval times, then there it is. We'll go and do it. Let's see here. Hero says, I live by medieval times in Orlando. The show is good, but the food sucks. Well, Heroes, the last time I went, maybe the food has gotten worse, but when I went way back in the day, like in 2006 or whenever me and Eric went, the food was actually good. I remember they had like mashed potatoes and they had like turkey and chicken legs and they had corn, and I thought it was good. The show is fantastic though. I remember I bought a collector's cup, and I've got that somewhere in a box. It's probably collecting dust in a box back in Missouri. It's somewhere, but I remember buying a collector's cup there. So, but even if the food does suck, it'll make for good vlogs. It would make a great vlog. So, maybe I'll go with Heroes, or Heroes, me and Sam can go, and hell, we'll get Randy to come out. All four of the bros will come out, and we'll go to the show. Why not? That would be a fun trip. It really would. So, I would love to go. Like I said, it's been a long time since I've went. It's been a long time. Like from 2006 to now, that's the last time I went and saw that show. And it's actually in a big castle. The outside it looks like a big fucking castle. It's all gray with stone, tablets and shit. So I would definitely be about going, So yeah. So yep. Joy Boy says, much love to LC. Yeah, shout out to LC. If you guys have not checked out my buddy's channel, check LC out at Heroes and Villains Collectibles on everything. He's got a Discord. Check out the Discord. He's got an Instagram, a Twitter, a TikTok. I mean, he's going nuts on everything. Everything, buddy. Everything. Check him out. He's got the YouTube. If he's not streaming a cool video game, then he's doing his epic toy vlogs. So check that out. Wait, how about some medieval time pics on the Instagram night? Well, they should already be up on there. You just have to go way back in the day, Triple. And I know they're somewhere on my Instagram. I can't remember. I remember I posted, because I've had my Facebook since whenever Facebook came out. Because Facebook came out, this shows you how old I am. Facebook came out when I was in film school around 2007, 2008. Because I remember I was using my MySpace. And one of my friends said, Fears, MySpace, it's gone. And I was like, really? And they're like, yeah. They're like, there's this new thing called Facebook. And I was like, is it like MySpace? And he's like, yeah, it's kind of like MySpace, just a better version of it. And he goes, you'll be able to like keep in touch with all your friends and family a lot better. He goes, Facebook's way better. And I don't even really know what happened to MySpace. MySpace was an older version of Facebook. I just, for one day, it was just up and vanished. And then Facebook took over. So yeah, and I remember I was on it, and yeah, so yeah, it was the thing. And I remember after going there, Triple. I remember coming back. I remember I posted all those medieval time photos, both because Instagram came out. I don't know, maybe a year or two later when I was in film school. I've had my Instagram for a long time. So yeah, so I remember posting them on my Facebook first and then on my Instagram. So they're on there. They're definitely on there. So check them out. They should be. It's been a long time ago. Long time. So yeah, they should be on there. Because I never took them off my Facebook. I don't think I've ever taken them off my Instagram. They should be still on there. So yeah, but one of these days, me and LC, or me and Sam, or all three of us, or all four of us, me, LC, Sam, and Randall, will go back to a triumphant return to medieval times. Because the one that LC's talking about, that's the one that me and Eric went to way back in the day. So yeah. When I went to go visit LC for the very first time, the very first hangout at his house, I drove right by medieval times. I know exactly where it is. It's not a big drive to medieval times, but with traffic, it's a good hour. Without traffic, you could probably get there in about 45 minutes. Probably, around there. So it's not that bad of a drive. So we'll have to do it sometime. Yep. All right, I'm getting tired. I got to eat some din. I got to take a shower. But I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. If I had to grade this one, though, for a cartoon movie, I learned more about the superhero dogs than I ever did. I will be honest. I like this more than this. Because I'm stubborn when it comes to cartoons. I only really like the cartoons that I grew up with. I grew up with all of the Looney Tunes characters, all the Disney characters, some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and the best cartoon of all time, The Real Ghostbusters. That's Fierce's favorite cartoon of all time, and it will always be Fierce's favorite cartoon of all time. The funny thing is, if you look over here, I've only got seasons 1 and 2 of The Real Ghostbusters. I need to throw those out. I need to get the entire fucking collection. That's right. And one day I will. But the newest movie, Visions Pixel, I finally did it. I bought it last night because I just kept telling you guys. I don't know who told me about that fucking Tommy Lee Jones movie. Maybe it was Visions, because Visions always tells me about these old fucking hilarious like classic films. Or I think maybe it was somebody at a convention. But I finally bought that Black Moon Rising. So after I watch it, that'll probably be the next review. They said it should get here in a couple of days because Fears bought it last night. And I think they said I should get it by February 7th or February 8th, somewhere around there. So I cannot wait to watch that. I watched the trailer, the old-ass trailer on YouTube, and it looks fucking hilarious. And Visions, you've watched that before, right? I think it was you and one of my other buddies tell me. He goes, oh, Fears. He goes, if you like cheesy films. I was like, well, you know I do. And he's like, Fears, there's this old fucking action-packed thriller. He goes, the girl from Terminator, the girl that played Sarah Connor, she's in it. And I was like, really? I was like, damn. I'm like, this must be really old. He goes, yeah, they filmed it like in 1983. I was like, oh, cool, the year I was born. He goes, yeah, 82, 83. And I was like, Tommy Lee, he goes, oh, Fears. He goes, Tommy Lee Jones. He goes, you know that old-ass actor from Men in Black? I said, yeah. I said, he's not that old, bro, but I said, he's getting there. He goes, well, yeah. He goes, dude, he looks super young in it. And I'm like, how young? He goes, he looks like he's 29, 30 in this film. And I was like, oh, wow, like that must be one of his first few gigs. And he goes, yeah. He goes, I don't know if it's his first gig, but it's one of his first few gigs. And it's basically about Tommy Lee Jones. He's a professional thief. This is what I got from the trailer. He's a professional thief, and this big like company says, look, we need you to steal this futuristic car. It's supposed to be the car of the future. And it's set like in the future, the not too distant future. Well, the 80s version of what they thought the future was going to be. So it's not like 2055 or some shit. It's like the distant future. And they said, we need you to steal this car from this company. And they said, if you steal it for us, we'll give you shitloads of money. I think in the trailer, I think it's like they're going to give him $1 million or some shit. And so he does the job, and before he gets paid, they fuck him over and they steal it from him. And he goes, oh, you guys done fucked up. He goes, you stole from the wrong motherfucker, and you're not going to pay me? Oh, you really fucked up. And so basically he just goes on this quest. He goes, oh yeah, well check this shit out. I'm gonna re-steal it back from you guys, and you're not going to fucking get it. I'm going to keep it for myself, so fuck you. And that's basically what it's about. So he steals it back, and the whole movie is basically him re-fucking over those guys that fucked over him. And it's a big action-packed thriller, and the car in it looks hilarious. Super cheesy, futuristic, and I was like, oh, I'm like, this is right up Fears' alley. I'm like, let the cheesiness of the movies flow. And I'm like, I cannot wait to watch this. So the trailer looked amazing. So I was like, all right, that's it. I said, I'm going to see how much it is. And so wasn't that much online. Only $18. I think $19 with tax. And so I was like, I'm like, boom, bought it. Bought it last night. Cannot wait to check it out. So it should be here in a couple of days. Hell yeah. But I will watch it, and I will give you guys a good review. So if I had to review these, like I said, 8.5, hilarious. If you haven't watched this, really funny shit. This one is good for a cartoon movie. Definitely families would like it. Little kids will definitely like it. Dwayne The Rock Johnson, hilarious as Crypto. Kevin Hart played Bat Dog. And then, so it was just them like bickering back and forth. And this little creature right here is the villain in it. And she's like the pet of Lex Luthor. And it's basically the Justice League. Every single person in the Justice League has a pet, which is all of these guys except for the villain over here. And it's basically the Justice League and their pets take down Lex Luthor and his pet. So it's a pretty funny, hilarious cartoon superhero movie. So if I had to grade this one, I'd give this one about an 8 too. About an 8. I was going to give it a 9, but I'm like, it's a cartoon movie. So it is pretty funny though. It's pretty funny, pretty enjoyable. Learned a lot about Crypto though. And Crypto loses his powers. Sorry, spoiler alert if no one's watched, if someone hasn't seen this. Crypto loses his powers. So he has powers and then he loses his powers and then he gets his powers back. So there it is. All good stuff. So those are my reviews. I'm taking off. I got to take a shower. I got to make some din-din, and then Fears has got to go into work tonight at 3:30 in the morning. So hopefully works a lot better tonight. All right. And I gotta finish editing that video. So hopefully the miniature golf championship between me and Sam, hopefully that'll be up later tonight, or it'll be up tomorrow, because I'm about halfway done on editing it. But I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Joyboy says, great stream, buddy. Thanks and good night all. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to my buddy Heroes and Villains Collectibles. Follow Fears at FearsMan26, the main channel. And then follow Fears Vlogs, what you're watching right now. Follow Pixel, Lord Pixel of the Pylons at Pixel Protocol. Check out my buddy Visions at www.exhumvisions.com. Buy some cool shit, because he's got great shit on his website. Hell yeah, Visions. And Pixel, let me know about the trip, buddy, because I really want to come and hang out, buddy. We've been talking about this hangout for years. Let's make it happen. All right? So check it out. All right. I'm taking off, but Fears loves you. Fears cares about you. And this is Fears, and I'm signing off. Peace!